retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. Presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts. This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Panther Stadium in Duncanville, Texas, for tonight's 8-6A matchup between the Duncanville Panthers and your Cedar Hill Longhorns. I'm Bill Howard, along with my broadcast partners Cody Krim and Cam Bolin, as the Longhorns go on the road to take on the 3-3 Panthers. The 4-1 Longhorns, 1-0 in district, coming off a resounding 56-27 win over the Midlothian Panthers. The Duncanville Panthers, while they're 3-3 on the year, are 3-0 at home, looking for their fourth consecutive home win of the season, but they'll have all they can handle tonight in the 12th ranked team in the state, the Cedar Hill Longhorns. I had the opportunity earlier this week, as I do every week, to sit down and visit with head coach Joey McGuire of the Cedar Hill Longhorns, and that's what we'll bring you after our first round of messages from our sponsors on Champion Sports Radio Network. Please stay with us and enjoy, on the pregame show, the head coach Joey McGuire Show. Longhorn football and the Joey McGuire Show will be back in a moment.
Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be three things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute, online at gdyo.org/jazz.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome to the Joey McGuire Show as the Cedar Hill Longhorns coming off a district opening win over the Midlothian Panthers, 56-27 last Friday night, and now getting ready for Week 2 in District 8-6A. They take on the Duncanville Panthers, and Coach, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you got to be pleased. You kicked it off the right way. You kicked it off with a victory over a Midlothian team. When you talk about a score being 56-27 and the game not being as close as the score indicated, that kind of gives you an idea of how one-sided that football game was from a spectator standpoint. But before we talk about our Cedar Hill Longhorns, a tip of the cap to the Midlothian Panthers, a little outmanned a week ago, but played hard for 4 quarters.
Well, you know what I think of Lee Wigington. I mean, I think he's one of the best X's and O's coaches in the state of Texas, and you know he always has something that he's seen throughout the week and comes up with some different schemes. I thought they did a great job in their 2-back, running the ISO or kind of the lead play, the old throwback, which they hadn't run a lot of that. So you know, I thought they did a good job of doing that early and then running the quarterback, you know, off of that same look, and they had got some pretty good plays off of it.
A big first quarter for Midlothian, and I say big from the standpoint of the quarter ends with no score in the game. They played you dead even. How frustrating was it for your offense? Number one, they weren't getting many opportunities in the first quarter, and secondarily,
DeSoto that first week of district. I mean, it's a little bit different, and sometimes people have stats that are empty stats, and the only stat we care about in Cedar Hill is the win.
Of course. And just to wrap up our look back at the Midlothian game, tip of the cap to you and your coaching staff. A game that was at one time 49-13 as the fourth quarter began. Cedar Hill removes its offensive starters for the most part and really took the foot off the gas. And a game that could have really been out of hand ugly from a score standpoint turned out not to be. Plus, you get Darius Harper and some of the backup running backs some work, and what a great job they did.
Well, man, it was so much fun. I mean, Ezekiel Jones, he probably would have scored if he hadn't run in the back of Josh Stewart. But you were talking about a kid that's been excited all week long. That's what, is so much fun of being in games where you can get those guys in there. And you saw that. And then in the second half, really the fourth quarter, we gave up 2 touchdowns. I mean, you hate it when those guys come in because they practice too, and you expect them to execute. But we gave up 2 cheap touchdowns with our 2s in there. But they got to play, and they worked their tails off just like everybody else. And you want those guys to play in those situations.
Very exciting for those players that put in so much time and effort. When we come back, we'll talk to Coach Joey McGuire about this week's opponent, I should say, the Duncanville Panthers, when we return on the Coach Joey McGuire Show.
they have the top statistical leader in the district in Xavier Brown. So you better know where he's at. Their receiver that's caught 37 balls, 730-something yards receiving. So you got to know where he's at from the standpoint of where you can double him, how you can double him, different things of he's primarily an outside receiver, so having a safety over the top of him or having a linebacker underneath him, you've got to do that. The other thing is we're extremely aggressive in the secondary. And so against teams like this, you mix it up to where you're maybe playing a little bit more safe game plan and an aggressive game plan, and you don't give them the same looks to where you might not get as much single coverage that you do in other weeks.
Coach, you made a couple of changes, one necessitated by injury. One, of course, you lost a fine defensive back for a few weeks in Josh Atkinson. You moved DeAndre Bradley over to a safety position on defense. How did Bradley do a week ago? Well,
he did really well. We have we grade our kids to where they're top receiver, top, DB, top linebacker, and DeAndre actually graded out as the highest DB in the game. I thought he played really well. I mean, there's still some things that he's got to get used to and being the high safety and when he's got a back pedal or when he can be a flat foot read guy. But I thought he did really well. He's so long. He's trying to be really physical. He's got to tackle a little bit better. He didn't tackle as well as what we saw out of number 14. But that comes with taking snaps and doing stuff like that. And I think you'll see a better tackler. But I love seeing a 6'1", 6'2" safety back there in the secondary with a team that's going to throw the ball that much.
I'm going to age myself here, as I told our broadcast team last week during an off-the-air moment, that he looks a little bit like a former Dallas Cowboys safety back in the 80s named Michael Downs, a big kid from Rice who was long and lean, and that's what DeAndre looks like. And it appeared to us, from a layman's perspective, that he did a good job. Glad to hear that the coaches felt the same. Talk a little bit, if you would, Coach, about your Tennessee commit, Daryl Miller. And the kind of year that Daryl's having, because it looks to us like Daryl's really doing a fine job technique-wise. He's been on the back end of some plays that, again, look to the layperson like it may be the cornerback's fault, but we just don't get the feeling that we've got the whole story there, that there may be some other things going on back there.
Well, you've got a couple of things when you talk about Daryl. I mean, the way we do our secondary is we're always looking from the standpoint of matchups, and we've played some great receivers. I mean, I really thought that the young man from Midlothian was a really good receiver, number 6, and he's got great speed. So he has been on everybody's number 1 receiver. That's number 1. So he's getting the best of the best. So number 2, if we go back and we look at balls completed and or flags in the games that we've played, 99.9% of them, and the only reason I can't say 100% is because I might have missed one, but I bet I didn't, have been on their sideline. And so I think sometimes that's part, I think you've seen me go absolutely crazy at different times in the game because there's some times, I mean, you go back, we talked about Dallas Cowboys, you go back to Dallas Cowboys, a young man that played for A&M that was just an incredible corner, went through that year to where it looked like he could never get a break. Kevin Smith. And that's a little bit of what's going on right now, I feel like with Daryl. He's getting the number 1, you're getting the number 1 receiver that they're throwing to. So that's one thing. He's getting the most targeted receiver. And the other thing is, I mean, he's had some bad breaks. I mean, I go back and I talk to my guys all the time about I'd rather give up a flag than a touchdown. Anthony Blue is a perfect example of that in 2006. He always says I set the state record in the most pass interference calls. That's fine with me.
Anthony did okay when he got to Nebraska.
He did great, and that's just part of it. That's fine from the standpoint of those deals. I just don't want to give up a touchdown, and we'll take another snap. But some of that has been that we're very aggressive on those ends too, and I think you're going to see a group that mixes it up really mixes it up tomorrow night.
We think Daryl, and it looks to us, as we said before, Daryl appears to us to be playing technically very, very sound and being in the spots that he needs to be in. And I think your point about him always facing the number one receiver and holding his own. Again, we set the bar so high for some of our young players, and of course, that's what happens when you're the state champion, Coach.
No doubt.
And I'm sure they would rather, and you would rather have it that way than not have that pressure. Back to the Duncanville Panthers. Defensively, as we said before, they've given up 173 points through 6 games. So they're not a shutdown defense, at least not so far. When you pit those kind of numbers against the Longhorns' potent offense, you've got to feel like there's an opportunity there with the proper execution to have some success.
Well, they are really good whenever you look at them. To me, they're really good up front. They look physically really good up front, and I think that's something that we've got to do a great job as far as taking care of business in the offensive line versus the defensive line. They're active at linebacker. They got the young man, number 11, committed to OSU.
Yes.
That's going to play linebacker for OSU. What we've been able to do the last few years against Duncanville, even the year in 2011, whenever they beat us over there, whenever I didn't kick the field goal, I still kicked myself for that game right there.
We've forgiven you for that, Coach.
It was they have a hard time. They've had a hard time stopping the counter, and that's our number one play. And so hopefully that's a bad mix tomorrow night whenever you talk about us running the counter and them trying to stop it.
Tell me a little bit, and our fans a little bit, about the preparation from a potential bad weather standpoint. The forecast for tomorrow night, at least in the early part of the week, I'm not sure if it's changed yet or not, had the chance being pretty good of some pretty heavy rain in our area tomorrow night. What does that do to the coaching staff's preparation and game planning?
Well, we're mutters. When you're sitting there talking about having a offensive line, the smallest guy on that offensive line is 255 pounds, and it goes from 275 to 296 to 305 to 255 to 283, and you're going to run the football with two of the best backs. The rain is not going to bother us, and it could affect a team that wants to throw the ball as much as they do. So I think that we could win a game in any kind of weather and have.
Seems like I remember a playoff game in some icy conditions last year.
Right. So that really doesn't bother me as much. So I want a great night for the fans. I want a great night for our team because I like our guys to be comfortable, and I like that fall weather to start kicking in and feeling more and more like football. And so I like that start.
We're back at Panther Stadium in Duncanville, Texas, for just minutes away from kickoff between the Duncanville Panthers and the Cedar Hill Longhorns. I'm Bill Howard, along with my broadcast partners Cam Bowen and Cody Krim, on a night, weather-wise, that's pretty nice right now. Temperature in the low 80s, and we understand that rain is coming our way. The Duncanville Panthers and Cedar Hill Longhorns have both taken the field. And Cam, the matchup that we have for tonight's game, on paper, Duncanville very tough at home, but the Longhorns are a good road team. This game appears on paper like a game that the Cedar Hill Longhorns should win.
Yes, Cedar Hill has been very dominant defensively and offensively with the likes of DeMarcus Lodge, Cedric Ware, the two-way star, and gentleman number 1, DeAndre Bradley, the third, and also Justin McMillan leading at quarterback. So Duncanville is really going to have a tough time stopping all of those weapons because you generally don't see an offense that can kind of attack you from any point on the field.
Well, it'll be a night that the Cedar Hill Longhorns will want to get off to a quick start. As we said, bad weather on the horizon. Right now, the Duncanville marching band is set for the playing of our national anthem. Both teams lined up on either side of the field. The Duncanville Panthers tonight in red jerseys, red pants, blue and white numerals trimmed, and of course they will be in their blue helmets with the D Duncanville on the side. And the Cedar Hill Longhorns tonight will be in white jerseys, black and red trim numerals on those jerseys. They'll be in their red pants, and of course, as always, they will be in their red helmets with the horns scripted on the side. Longhorns coming out for the coin toss tonight's captains, number 22, Kyle Goss. Number 16 for the Longhorns, Kobe Idumwanye. Number 13, the quarterback, Justin McMillan. And number 28, the running back, Cedric Ware, are standing in the back along with Richard Moore and DeMarcus Lodge. Captains for both teams now standing at the middle of the field, and this is a pretty neat thing as Duncanville has brought out what looks to be their middle school or Little League football players, and they're stretched from 125-yard line all the way inside the opposing 20-yard line, Cody, and that's something nice that Coach Jeff Dykes is doing for the programs here in Duncanville.
Yeah, and examples of this is exactly why 6A Texas high school football has came to what it is today. You have kids from a young age growing up in programs. I know South Lake Carroll is very much into that, growing their kids up in programs even as early as second and third grade out in South Lake, running the same offenses and all of that sort. Joey McGuire doing the same thing with his junior high team, really getting them involved in similar play calls all the way up through the varsity level. So really good sign of Jeff Dykes to have his junior high kids out here, and it's a moment they're not going to forget.
Well, both teams and their captains are at the middle of the field now. The officials are talking things over with them. As we said, Duncanville comes in tonight, 3 wins, 3 losses, 3-0 at home, 0-3 on the road. They're home tonight to face the 4-1 Cedar Hill Longhorns, the defending Division II State 5A, parentheses 6A in parentheses, state champions. And the coin toss has been won by the Duncanville Panthers, and the Panthers have elected to receive the football. They'll be moving from left to right to begin the first quarter, so Brooks Ralph will be kicking off from obviously right to left, and the team's now lining up for the playing of our national anthem. Tonight's anthem will be played by the Duncanville Panther marching band, clad in their breast awareness pink shirts and white overalls this evening. Many pink outfits in the crowd on both sides tonight, as it is, of course, Breast Cancer Awareness Month. That was the Duncanville Panthers choir singing the national anthem. I know we invited the band for Duncanville. That's who we thought was going to be playing it. That's who we introduced, but they ran a reverse on us, Cam, right off the bat. Duncanville may be up to some shenanigans tonight. They maybe have trickery in the bag.
Yeah, the trick plays have already begun.
And the crowd for Duncanville, as they always are, they're on their feet with the Tomahawk Chop chant that's become so familiar here with the students and the band in Duncanville High School. The Cedar Hill Longhorns come into tonight's game with a record of 4 wins and 1 defeat. Their only defeat, of course, being to the state's number 5 ranked team, the Skyline Raiders. And how the Longhorns would like to see them again. But that's for another time. Tonight, the Duncanville Panthers await on the horizon for the Cedar Hill Longhorns. Brooks Ralph set to kick off. He'll do so from his own 40-yard line, kicking from right to left, going back deep for the Duncanville Panthers. Number 17, James Roberts. He will be joined by number 22, DeMarion Handy. Brooks Ralph set to do the kicking. Both a good crowd tonight. Cedar Hill traveling very well. Just next door is Duncanville, of course, to Cedar Hill. And the Panthers have filled up their side of Panther Stadium. We're set to go. 8-6A football, North Texas style. Your Cedar Hill Longhorns here on Champion Sports Radio. Brooks Ralph hits a high pooch end-over-end kick. Ball falls. The ball's free on the ground. It remains free, and Duncanville's going to recover it back on their 6-yard line. Number 22, DeMarion Handy, let the ball bounce in bounds, Cam, and that was almost a disastrous beginning for the Duncanville Panthers.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he just read the football wrong as it was kicked, but Handy, the back man, kind of sprinted past the football as if he was going to block, which allowed it to be a live football. Cedar Hill almost recovered inside the Duncanville 10, but good job by Handy mitigating his mistake.
Poor field position, but nonetheless, that's where Duncanville's going to start. They're going to start at their own 8-yard line, 1st down and 10. Their quarterback, Stedman Lanigan, the senior, in the shotgun. Behind him is Roosevelt Richmond, the senior running back. Three to the right, 1 to the left. Now motion across the formation from right to left. They fake the jet sweep. Lanigan on the option, pitches it wide to Roosevelt. He gets to the 10, up to the 15, and all the way out to the 17-yard line goes Roosevelt Richmond III, the senior running back. Give him about 9, maybe 10 yards. He's going to be very close to a 1st down. In fact, that's going to be, on the initial play of the game, a Duncanville Panther 1st down, a 10-yard run for Roosevelt Richmond III. Lanigan in the shotgun. Richmond now to his right. Trips to the left, 1 to the right. Ball on the right hash mark. Just underway from Panther Stadium. Lanigan will throw. 3-step drop. Looking. Throwing the ball deep downfield. Ball's incomplete. Intended on the far side for, I believe it was number 14, Jaron Bryant. The ball falls incomplete. Correction, that was intended for a different wide receiver. That's going to make it 2nd down and 10 from the 17-yard line. Feel free to shout that number out, man. We're all right. Lanigan on 2nd down, toss play to the little running back who reverses his field, coming back right, got room at the 20, 25. Longhorn defense going to run him down at the 27, and again, it's Roosevelt Richmond III, and Richmond does a good job there, Cam, of starting a sweep to the left and then turning around and bringing it all the way back to the far side of the field.
Yeah, a lot of times you may see blocking in the back or clipping in those situations, but a good job by the Duncanville offensive line, not committing any penalties, and good vision by Richmond III at the cutback.
3rd down and 2. Longhorns making changes on defense. Lanigan in the shotgun. Richmond, the running back, behind him on 3rd and 2. Direct snap. They hand it off inside to Richmond. He's not going to get the 1st down. He's going to be stopped just short. It looks like from our vantage point, maybe a half yard. And if we're right, Jeff Dykus, a quick decision to be made. They're going to take a look and let's see where they mark it. It looks like they marked it about a half yard short. That's going to make it 4th down. Now they've marked it up a little bit, and they say it's a 1st down.
I'm surprised.
Very surprised there wasn't a measurement there. But they put it at the 27-yard line, and that's going to make it 1st down. Twins to the left and to the right. Ball on the right hash mark. Lanigan in the shotgun. Richmond, the running back, now shifts and moves behind Lanigan as Lanigan changes the play at the line of scrimmage. First down and 10. A timeout's going to be taken. Duncanville a little confused on the offensive side of the football. We'll keep it right here. 11-12 to go, just underway. Only 3 plays run, but 2 first downs already, Cam, for the Duncanville Panthers. The Duncanville Panthers have over 70% of their offense this year has been generated through the air. And their first 3 of their first 4 plays, I should say, have been running plays, and they've been successful for the Panthers offense.
Yeah, and Duncanville has obviously made some adjustments to their game plan behind the strength of their home fans here. They've come out really trying to pound the ball at Cedar Hill, and that's exactly what you want to do when you're playing a superior opponent and you're the underdog, is to come out, shorten the game, control the ball, and keep a great quarterback like Justin McMillan off the field by making sure you slowly gain first downs by running the football.
Longhorns come out with Jalen Pinton, Joseph Lamont, and Quentin Jones up front on the defensive line. Their linebackers, 31, Colby McGarry, Richard Moore, Darren Rader in the game also. Second down, straight back in the pocket goes the quarterback, Lanigan. He throws the ball. Does Stedman Lanigan out in the right flat. That's incomplete. The ball intended out there for number 18, La'Arius Allen, the wide receiver. That ball goes off his hands. That's going to make it second down. I believe I said that was a second down play. I was incorrect. That was first down. Second down and 10 from the 28. Lanigan in the shotgun. Duncanville runs an offense much like Cedar Hills in a NASCAR fashion. They go twins to the left and to the right. Richmond, the running back. Inside handoff to Richmond. First back through. Scoots through one guy at the 30 and gets up to about the 31-yard line. Give him 3. Going to be third down and 7, Cam, for the Panthers. And this is the first true passing situation Duncanville's been in this evening.
Yeah, and again, Cedar Hill having just a little bit of trouble, which is not out of the ordinary at the outset of the game, as it takes a little while to get the game legs under them as Duncanville comes out in a 5-wide set.
4 to the left, 1 to the right. Lanigan in the shotgun. Direct snap. Lanigan straight back in the pocket, looking, throwing the ball down the middle. Got a man at the 40. 45 up near midfield to the 49-yard line.
Number 19, Xavier Brown there on the catch, coming across the middle, able to pick up about 20 yards on that pass play.
Give him about 18, Cody. You're absolutely right. And Xavier Brown brings it in, and it's first and 10 from their own 49. Duncanville with their 3rd consecutive first down. They rush to the line of scrimmage, trips to the right, 1 to the left. Lanigan, the quarterback, with Richmond, the running back, to his right. Longhorns in their familiar 3-4 front. Lanigan changing the play at the line of scrimmage from the left hash mark, first and 10. Option right. Lanigan fakes the pitch, and Richard Moore pulls him down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. And number 4, the Texas A&M pledge, Richard Moore, drops Lanigan to make it second down and 10. Longhorns get their first negative play of the game for the defense.
Good job also there by number 2 to Marcy Perry, playing the pitch man perfectly, allowing Moore to take down the quarterback.
Second down and 10 from their own 49. Lanigan sends twins to the right, 1 to the left. Ball in the middle of the field. Richmond, the running back, to his right. Direct snap to Lanigan. He'll throw. 3-step drop. Throwing the deep out. Got a man. Great coverage. Ball's incomplete. Intended out there for number 20, Eduardo Mora. But the Longhorns, number 19, Eric Sutton, the transfer, the Florida high school transfer, comes over and makes a great play. That's going to set up a 3rd down and 10. And the Longhorns now look to make a stop and get Duncanville off the field. They're 3 for 3 are the Panthers on 3rd down. They go trips to the left, 1 to the right. Lanigan in the shotgun. Direct snap to Lanigan. He'll throw straight back in the pocket. Here comes Moore, and he's got it back at the 36-yard line, and he pulls him down. Richard Moore on the sack. The Longhorns force a 3 and out after 3 consecutive first downs by the Duncanville Panthers.
And great play there by Moore coming up the middle. Limley sending 2 linebackers there. Also sent Travis Gibson, number 15, on a blitz coming off the other side. And I think the Duncanville quarterback really didn't have anywhere to go. Great job there by the Longhorns defense getting back to him.
Sam Jimenez set to kick. He stands at his own 25. Denver Daniels and DeMarcus Lodge in deep receive formation. High kick. It's going to be Lodge that moves up, but he's going to let it bounce. Takes a little bit of a Longhorn bounce, and Duncanville's going to kill it at their Cedar Hill 32-yard line. 8:41 to go. Panthers come out, plow out 3 first downs, but the Longhorns' Richard Moore makes back-to-back big defensive plays, forces the Panther punt.
Yeah, and Richard Moore showing why he's an all-state caliber linebacker and exactly why he has assisted the Longhorn defense in gaining a state championship last year. Great reading and recognition and terrific job blitzing the A-gap and making sure he wrapped up the quarterback for that sack.
Longhorns come out. They'll have Desmond Duncan at the center position. The guards are Jared Williams and Chris Frazier. Wesley Willis and Randy Christian up front for the Longhorns. Justin McMillan, the quarterback, sends twin receivers to the right, one to the left, inside handoff. Cedric Ware, and there goes Cedric across the 35 to the 36-yard line. Flag comes in almost immediately at the end of the play. Ware gains 4. We'll have to wait and see what the official's call will be. And it's going to be a holding penalty, interestingly enough, against the defense there. Now the referee's walking over. Let's see if he changes. No, it's a personal foul face mask against the Duncanville Panthers. So on the initial play of the game, offensively for Cedar Hill, the Longhorns pick up 4 yards and then get 15 more on the penalty against Duncanville, and the Longhorns have moved the ball already into Duncanville territory at the Duncanville 49. McMillan sends twin receivers to the left. That's Lodge and Daniels in the slot. One receiver to the right. Ware remains the running back behind McMillan in the shotgun. On 1st and 10, quick pass to the outside to Denver Daniels is complete to the 55 to the 40. To the 45 to the 40 and across, and the Longhorn wide receiver out there, a flag comes in late, is going to get called for holding, I'm pretty sure. Looked like DeMarcus Lodge may have gotten flagged there, Cam.
Yeah, Lodge overextended his arms a little bit, maybe a little ticky-tack. It looked like it was a good block on my behalf, but the ref has a much better angle than I do.
It was a slip screen bubble in the left flat as the Longhorns moved from right to left. And they got holding on to Marcus Lodge from the 45 from the spot of the foul. That'll put it back at the 45. So it'll end up being a 6-yard loss for the Longhorns. They'll be looking at a replay of first down, and it'll be first down and 16. McMillan, the quarterback, Ware, the running back, Lodge, Daniels, and Darius Harper, the wide receivers. McMillan in the shotgun, direct snap, straight back in the pocket, throws the quick out to DeMarcus. He's got it at the 45. 50 makes a man miss 45. Up to the 40-yard line goes to Marcus Lodge. He'll pick up 14. Longhorns will be looking at 2nd and 2. And the quick slip screen to the speedy DeMarcus Lodge proves profitable for the Longhorn offense.
And great job there by number 62, Desmond Duncan, the center, and number 64, Christian Frazier, the left guard, getting out front of DeMarcus Lodge there, doing a great job of blocking downfield for him.
That's going to make it 2nd down and 2. Denver Daniels checks in at running back. Jalen Jackson comes in at wide receiver, goes to the left. 2 receivers to the right are Harper and DeAndre Bradley the second. McMillan looks over the defense. He has Lodge in the slot to the left. On 2nd and 2, straight back in the pocket goes McMillan. Throws it. It's got Lodge at the 40. He turns it up to the 36-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4 and enough for a first down as Cam may run to Marcus Lodge on a drag route underneath, and Lodge picks up the first down.
Yeah, one thing that we haven't seen that much this year is the Cedar Hill passing game really feature Lodge, and as we start to progress throughout the district season and move toward the playoffs, I'm pretty sure that's something that we're going to kind of see moving forward.
From the 37 of Duncanville, Longhorns moving from right to left, ball on the right hash mark, twin receivers to the right, one to the left, motion across the formation. They fake the jet sweep, hand it off to Ware to the 35, 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown Cedar Hill Longhorns, a 37-yard touchdown run for Cedric Ware, and the Longhorns lead 6-0.
And that was some tremendous blocking by the outside receiver that time. I believe it may have been DeAndre Bradley, just downfield mauling one of the defensive backs that really allowed Cedric to cut back inside the 10 and stroll in for the touchdown.
With 6:57 to go in the first, Ware's 37-yard touchdown run stakes Cedar Hill to a 6-0 lead. Brooks Rouse extra point is no good. It is off to the right, and again, Brooks struggling a little bit in the past couple of weeks with his extra points. I'm sure he'll get that straightened out. But the Longhorns lead 6-0. You're listening to Cedar Hill Longhorn Football on the Champion Sports Radio Network. We'll be back in a moment.
And a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting. It's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Back at Panther Stadium, the Cedar Hill Longhorns travel 68 yards, and they do it in only 6 plays. They did by a 15-yard face mask penalty. The drive capped off by a 37-yard touchdown run by Cedar, and the Longhorns lead 7-0. Back deep for Duncanville, number 22, Demarion Handy. He's joined by number 17, James Roberts. Brooks Rouse set to kick off. He approaches the ball. Hits a pooch kick. Ball's going to land at about the 20. It's fielded there up to the 25. Cutting upfield to the 28-yard line is number 18, Laarius Allen. And they'll pull him down just short of the 30. Let's mark it at the 29 in the second possession of the evening for the Duncanville Panthers coming up. But, Cam, we saw the quick strike ability of the Cedar Hill Longhorn offense going 6 plays, 68 yards, capped by a 37-yard Cedric Ware touchdown run.
Yeah, and again, we really don't sing the praises of the offensive line enough. The receivers do a tremendous job blocking downfield, but it all starts with the offensive line blocking for McMillan and Cedric Ware.
I tell you, Randy Christian, number 72, and we'll talk about all of them before the night's through, but he's the pace setter on the big offensive line. First down and 10, Duncanville from their own 29, moving from left to right. Lanigan sends motion across the formation. Inside handoff, first back through is Williams. He's going to be pulled down at the 31-yard line. What a nice ankle tackle by 22, Kyle Goss.
Yeah, and Kyle Goss, a guy that was sorely missed by the defensive unit, as we saw the defense struggle at times. And anytime he was added into the lineup, it would be an immediate infusion of fight and talent.
On second down and 8, Lanigan will throw straight back in the pocket. Here comes the pressure. He throws it out. Ball's incomplete. Intended out there and should have been caught by number 81, Kevin Bell Jr. But the Longhorns coming up with good pressure on Lanigan, made him throw it a hair before he wanted to. The pass falls incomplete, and it's going to be third down and 8 for Duncanville. Lanigan quickly gets the Panthers to the line of scrimmage. They go twins to the right, one to the left. The running back, Roosevelt Richmond III, is to the right of Lanigan in the shotgun. On third and 8, direct snap to Lanigan. He'll throw straight back in the pocket. Here comes the rush. He's trying to get away. He won't get away. He gets tackled back at the 25 by number 17, Jawante Lewis, the outside linebacker. And Lewis comes up with a sack, and it's another punting situation for the Duncanville Panthers.
Yeah, Lewis did a tremendous job with the speed rush, beating the left tackle off the ball, and he was coming on the quarterback's blind side, so as soon as he tried to spin back around and avoid the rush on the front side, he was right in Lewis's lap.
So the Duncanville Panthers will punt, and the punter will stand at his own 12-yard line. It's Jalen Jackson back deep. Sam Jimenez in punt formation for Duncanville. The snap's a good one. Jimenez hits a beautiful kick, end over end. Denver Daniels steps up to take it, and it's going to be an interference penalty. He fumbles the ball and falls on it, but the Duncanville defender hit Denver Daniels before the ball arrived, and that's going to be a penalty against Duncanville.
I'm just glad that Daniels is okay, because that is really a dangerous play when a receiver is that's the definition of being defenseless, and they're not expecting anyone to hit him, as he called for a fair catch, and it was on a punt.
So they're going to mark off 15 from the 35, and the Longhorns going to set up shop right around the 50-yard line once again.
And honestly, Bill, I know a lot of the plays where players may get kicked out for targeting, if it's a play or a pass play. A lot of times those really are kind of bang-bang plays and really out of the player's hands. I would rather see someone possibly thrown out for a play of that nature as opposed to a pass and someone trying to catch it over the middle.
I agree totally. Longhorns going to set up camp at the Duncanville 49, moving from right to left. 5:25 to go in the first. Longhorns lead 6-0. Backs on either side of McMillan in the shotgun. Twin receivers to the left. On 1st and 10 from the 49, they run the reverse. They pitch it to Lodge. Lodge is going to throw it deep, and he's got Elijah Moore wide open at the 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Cedar Hill. DeMarcus Lodge can do it all, baby. A 49-yard touchdown pass from Superman to Elijah Moore, and the Longhorns lead 12-0.
And I'll tell you, the big key to that play is number 13, Justin McMillan, laying out number 1, Zacharias Green, who was coming for Lodge from his linebacker position. McMillan put him to the ground.
Zacharias Green, one of the most highly sought-after linebackers in the United States, got quarterback to the ground on that one. The extra point by Brooks Ralph is good. We'll keep it here and take you through that one. That was a 40 from the 49-yard line on 1st and 10. They hand the ball off to Denver Daniels on a jet sweep coming left, and Daniels hands the ball off on a reverse to DeMarcus Lodge, coming back around the backfield from his left to his right, and DeMarcus Lodge pulled up and threw a beautiful 45 yards in the air, a beautiful strike to Elijah Moore, and 32 Elijah Moore hauls it in, Cam, and takes it in, and the Longhorns are rolling early 13-0.
Yeah, the Horns are really turned loose at this point. Nothing that the Panthers are going to be able to do. Already down 2 scores early in the game with under 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. They'll really need to put up a long drive and try to add some points on the board. Not a field goal, but an actual touchdown. Otherwise, this could get really, really ugly.
Brooks Ralph was set to kick off. Longhorns off to a fast start, and I know there are some folks in Crowley, Texas tonight that are pretty excited about that. The Aslan family in Crowley, Texas. Brooke, Taylor, and Blake Aslan, big Longhorn fans out in Crowley. They're enjoying the Longhorns jumping out on the Duncanville Panthers 13-0. Aslans, turn them horns loose out in Crowley as well as Cedar Hill too, because your Longhorns are rolling right now. Brooks Ralph set to kick off. He booms a kick deep toward the end zone. It's going to be at the goal line from Duncanville's return man, and he's just going to sit down on one knee. And with 5:15 to go in the first, the Panthers will set up shop 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line for their 3rd possession of the game. But this time, Cam, they find themselves in a bit of a different predicament, down 13-0.
Yeah, and again, it's really going to be imperative for Duncanville to kind of stay the course, try to mix in some passing, maybe on first down with the run game where they found a little bit of success, and they'll have to maybe go to the 5 wide receiver set as they had some success there in the pass game. So we'll see what Coach Dykes has in store here moving forward.
Out in Mesquite Horn and Highland Park tied up all 7-7 in the first quarter. Lanigan in the shotgun for Duncanville. Empty backfield set. Direct snap. Lanigan will throw straight back. Throws it over the middle. Got a man open. The tight end at the 35-yard line. Credit the catch there to number 81, Kevin Bell Jr., the senior wide receiver. He's going to pick up 9. It's going to be 2nd and 1 as Lanigan throws a strike on a quick hook in the middle of the field. On 2nd and 1, Lanigan gets into the line of scrimmage. He'll send twins to the left and to the right. Richmond, the running back, directly behind Lanigan in the I formation. Direct snap. They hand it off inside to Richmond. He makes the first man miss. Correction. They fake that, and they throw it out in the right flat. Great play. Ball's complete across the 40 and all the way up to the 46-yard line. And, guys, quarterback Stedman Lanigan fooled my old eyes that time. Great play fake, and he throws the ball out in the flat to Bell, the receiver, who takes it up to the 46-yard line, a first down for the Duncanville Panthers. Lanigan in the shotgun. Direct snap. They hand it off. No, they fake it. He runs the option to the right. Longhorns got it well defensed. Going to pull down Richmond after a gain of 2 at the 44-yard line. Make it 2nd down and 8.
And great job there again by these Cedar Hill Longhorn backers, playing both the quarterback and the pitch man, not letting them run that option.
It's Going to make it 2nd down and 8. Ball sitting at make it 2nd down and 9 as the ball's just inside or outside, rather, the 46-yard line of Duncanville, moving from left to right. Lanigan has twin receivers on either side, one back to his left. Lanigan rolls far side, looking, sets up. Now he's in trouble, going to scramble, keeps scrambling out to the right. Now he throws the ball deep downfield. Got a man open, but the Longhorns have it covered. And the ball is incomplete, knocked away by DeAndre Bradley II. Great center field play right there by DeAndre Bradley, Cam.
And a wonderful job by Eric Sutton and DeAndre Bradley II with the bracket coverage on the deep receiver. Sutton doing a wonderful job staying deepest than the deepest receiver. And DeAndre Bradley high-pointed the ball, tracked it, and nearly made an interception. Good job by the receiver playing defense and turning into a defensive back to prevent the interception.
3rd down and 9 from the 47. Lanigan in the shotgun. Richmond to his left. They run the delay to Richmond, and the Longhorns sniff it out all the way back at the 36-yard line. Holy moly! It was big number 50, Joseph Lamont, who really sniffed out the draw to Richmond. And Lamont, the junior nose guard, 285-pounder, rides Richmond back. They're going to give him forward progress up to the 40, Cam, but a great defensive play by Lamont.
Yeah, Lamont has really... and really, the defensive tackles and nose guards in general for Cedar Hill have turned in the dominant performance right now, and that's why Cedar Hill's defense has been able to produce in the way they have.
With 3:06 to go and Duncanville set to punt, Longhorns might have smelled a rat there as special teams coach Calvin Ruzicka has asked for and gotten a timeout as Duncanville set up with Jimenez in punt formation. The Longhorns coaching staff saw something right there they flat didn't like. So they called a timeout. We'll keep it here with 3:06 to go, and the Longhorns leading 13-0 in the first quarter. Longhorns been a little bit of a slow starter this year, guys, but not tonight.
Yeah, and again, Cedar Hill doing just a tremendous job coming out this game. Got the game legs really quick. It took them a couple first downs for the defense to be able to make a few plays, led by their defensive star, Richard Moore, as they should be. And he has really turned things up. And they've also got some contributions on great pass rushes from Jamonte Lewis and great defensive back play from Eric Sutton and DeAndre Bradley II.
As play resumes, Jimenez stands on his own 25-yard line. Longhorns in twin receiving formation with Jackson and Daniels. Jimenez hits a beauty. Boy, this kid can kick it. Jackson's going to call for the fair catch, and he fumbles the ball. Ball's loose, and it goes out of bounds. And Jalen Jackson was very, very lucky right there. He fumbled the punt. Duncanville was right there to recover, Cody, but the ball bounced out of bounds, and Cedar Hill retains possession.
Well, and those are the things, if you're Cedar Hill, that can allow Duncanville into this game. Turnovers, special teams, blunders, issues like that in a game that you already have a 13-0 lead on, in a game where you should win. You cannot afford to have those costly turnovers.
And it basically looked like it was just a bit of a technique issue on the catch attempt that time, as Jackson had his elbows bowed or pointed outward as opposed to together, as you would generally see and as you're coached to do for those types of catches. Something that's easily corrected.
Justice Powers, big number 68, in position. 1st down and 10 for the Longhorns. McMillan now changing the play at the line of scrimmage. Full house backfield behind him. 3 backs in the backfield. Direct snap to Jackson. Inside handoff. First back through Daniels. Cuts to the outside of the 20, 25, 30. And he's going to be ridden down right at the 30-yard line. Close to a 1st down. It will depend on the mark, as he may have come up a yard short.
And just some early scores out in DeSoto. Mansfield keeping up with the high-powered DeSoto Eagles offense early on in the second quarter. It's 27-21. Lots of points being scored in that game already.
Goodness gracious, indeed. It's going to be 2nd down and about a yard. McMillan in the shotgun comes twin receivers to the left. Idemwanye strong tight end to the right. Inside handoff. Ware coming right, big hole 30, 35-40, 45-50, 45-40. And he's run down finally at the 30-yard line. A 50-yard run for Cedric Ware. They're going to make it 49. They're going to say he's down at the 31-yard line as the Longhorns went twins left, Cam, and a tight end strong to the right, and they ran it behind Idemwanye and the H-back Elijah Moore, and Ware takes it 49 yards to the 31 for a first down.
Yeah, and there was a great seal block by Idemwanye and Elijah Moore.
On first down, they hand it off to Ware 30, 25, 20, 15, all the way down to the 11-yard line. Another 20 yards. Guess who's moving in on 100 right now?
In the first quarter.
In the first quarter. That would be Aka Cedric Ware. First down, 10, Longhorns from the 12 on what we call the Cedric Ware drive. McMillan in the shotgun, Ware the I-back, twins to the left, Moore the H-back to the right. They hand it off to Cedric again. This time they're going to pull him down at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Duncanville ready for that one.
And good job there by Duncanville, as now they're starting to stack the box, not letting Ware do much. This may be a situation where Cedar Hill decides to go to the DeMarcus Lodge play and go over the top of that little fade in the corner.
Points aplenty between Mansfield and DeSoto. Cedar Hill and Duncanville right now. Looks like points aplenty, but they're all for the Cedar Hill Longhorns. Longhorns leading 13-0, second down and 10 from the 12. Daniels now in at running back behind McMillan. Harper to the right. Lodge left. Man coverage out here. Watch DeMarcus. Direct snap. Inside handoff to Daniels. Coming right. Makes the first man miss. Gets to the outside to the 10. Makes one man miss at the 5 and gets down to the 4-yard line. Give him 8 yards. Longhorns going to look at a third down and long 2, short 3 from just inside the 5-yard line as we go inside 1 minute left in the first quarter of a game. The Longhorns lead 13-0, and they're knocking on the door yet again. Ware checks back in. He replaces Darius Harper. Denver Daniels will go wide to the left now with Lodge on third down and about 3. McMillan in the shotgun with Ware to his right. They fake the jet sweep, hand it off inside to Ware, and he is blasted by the linebacker Zacharias Green that we talked about earlier, one of the most highly sought-after linebackers in the state of Texas, and he showed you why right there. He did not go for the jet sweep fake, Cam. He went for the running back, second back through Cedric Ware and took him to the ground.
Yeah, you can see the talent that the kid has, a great explosion, and he really had great technique and ran through the ball carrier. That was really a technique and a picture-perfect tackle.
With 12 seconds left here in the first quarter, the Longhorns looking at a fourth down and what appears now to be about 6 or 7 yards for a first down and 8 yards for a touchdown. Let's make it 6 for a first down, 8 for a touchdown, and the Longhorns going to not take a timeout. Instead, they decide to let the clock run out. The clock winds down, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. With the score, your Cedar Hill Longhorns 13, Duncanville nothing. Cedar Hill Longhorns football on the Champion Sports Radio Network. We'll be back in a moment.
Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
We're back at Panther Stadium in Duncanville, Texas, set to begin the second quarter of play of this 8-6A matchup between Duncanville and Cedar Hill. Longhorns leading 13-0 as they swap ends of the field. The Longhorns will be looking at a fourth down and about 6 for a first down, 8 for a touchdown, and the Longhorns going to eschew the field goal attempt, and no, they're not either. Now they've decided to bring on the field goal unit. They looked for a moment like they were thinking about going for it, but they say, no, we're going to put it on the big leg of our senior kicker, Brooks Ralph. Number 23, Caleb Ray, to do the holding. This will be a 25-yard field goal from the left hash mark. The snap is good. The kick is on its way. and the kick is good from 25 yards. So Brooks Ralph atones for the missed extra point by banging through a 25-yard field goal, and the Longhorns extend their lead to 16-0 on the initial play of the second quarter. Guys, that's going to give me a little bit of an opportunity to talk about the rankings in this week's area rankings for 6A, and for the first time in a long time, Cam, the Allen Eagles aren't the number one team in 6A.
Yeah, everyone that's pretty much assumed, as long as Kyler Murray, and maybe even as long as Coach Wigginton was at Allen, that they'd remain the top team in 6A, but they've been surpassed by our District 8 6A rival, the DeSoto Eagles.
Well, good football teams, both of them. It goes DeSoto, Allen, Skyline, Carroll, Trinity, and Cedar Hill in the top 6. I'll tell you what I think about those rankings. Much like Coach McGuire does, they don't mean a big hill of beans right now. See me, as Coach McGuire says, see me in December.
Yeah.
Let's talk in December. And there's a chance that those first 6 teams that are setting up there, that being DeSoto, Allen, Skyline, Carroll, Trinity, and the Cedar Hill Longhorns, will all be around in December. It'll be fun to watch. Right now, the Longhorns leading 16-0, 11:58 to go in the first half. Now kicking from left to right will be Brooks Ralph. Twin receivers back deep for the Duncanville Panthers. Ralph's 25-yard field goal increased the Longhorns' lead to 16, and his kickoff is a boomer into the end zone, and Duncanville going to kneel down on it. His second touchback for Brooks Ralph, one each way now, and from the 25-yard line, the Duncanville Panthers will take over, first down and 10. The Highland Park Scots are at Mesquite Horn tonight. Mesquite Horn, a very good football team. And, of course, Highland Park making the move up from 5A to 6A, a perennial 5A power, what used to be 4A, a lower-class power. And as they move up to the 6A status this year, finding it a little tougher going. They're undefeated, but they trail Horn now in the first quarter, 21-7. Lanigan in the shotgun, motion across the formation, option to the right. Lanigan cuts it in. Nice move across the 25 and up to the 28-yard line for the quarterback, Stedman Lanigan. Let's give him 3 on the play, make it second down and 7 for the Longhorns. Josh Tate, number 49, the defensive end, in on the stop. Back to the line of scrimmage quickly come the Panthers. Twins to the left, 1 to the right. Lanigan in the shotgun, direct snap. He fakes it on the sweep, rolls to his right, throws the ball downfield, got a man open at the 40, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30, 25, all the way down to the 18-yard line on the reception. And the quarterback now in the game, number 1, is the junior Michael Myers. Myers takes the ball, or rather hits the pass to
number 81, Kevin Bell.
Yeah, Kevin Bell makes the catch. He takes it all the way down to the 17-yard line of Cedar Hill. Huge play, biggest play easily of the night for the Duncanville Panthers, and they do it behind the junior quarterback, Michael Myers. Myers stays in the game at quarterback. Direct snap, they hand it off, first back through, and he gets across the 15 to the 14 as Roosevelt Richmond. And now, Cam, it's time for the Longhorn defense to try to stiffen and see if they can keep Duncanville out of the end zone.
Yeah, and Duncanville likes to get the ball to Roosevelt Richmond III in these situations, as he leads the team with 5 rushing touchdowns. And watch out for Xavier Brown if it's a pass, as he has 6 receiving touchdowns.
Twins to the left, 1 to the right. Motion across the formation. Direct snap to Myers. They fake it inside. Myers rolls to his right, throws it on the outside. Great coverage by the Longhorns, number 5, Charlie Middleton, the defensive back. He steps in and makes a dynamite play on the wide receiver for Duncanville. Great play by Middleton, Cam.
And we've seen Middleton slowly improve as he's got more experience and opportunities. It was a bit of a rough go about 3 or 4 games ago, but he's really started to pick things up, and a great job that time getting his hand in and knocking the ball away.
And they were trying to hit. It was Kevin Bell again that they were trying to hit over in the left pylon, but Middleton stepped in and made a great play. That's going to make it 3rd and 7. Empty backfield set now for Myers. Myers rolls to his right, look, and he's throwing the ball back across the field. Longhorns got it well covered, and it's incomplete. Oh, they had two receivers, did Duncanville in the same area. That's got to be some kind of busted route there, Cam, as there's no way the play could have been drawn up with two receivers standing that close together, and it brought extra people to the party, and the Longhorns knocked the ball away, and it's going to make it 4th down.
I believe the intended receiver was number 20, Eduardo I almost said Eduardo Camara. Eduardo Moore was the intended receiver, but again, number 81, Kevin Bell, also there, as you mentioned, Bill, kind of a mix-up on coverage.
So a field goal attempt coming now, and it's going to be,
I believe that's going to be number 30.
Eric Carrasco with a 32-yard field goal attempt, and he's going to hook it wide to the left. It's no good, but there is a flag down on the field, and he may get another shot at it. As Cedar Hill might have been offsides on the play, and they were. And that's going to make it, this is going to be an interesting call now for the head coach, Jeff Dicus, and the staff for Duncanville, because that's going to make it 4th down and really about 2.5, 3 yards to go, if maybe less than 2.5 yards for a first down. And Duncanville might decide to go here. They leave Carrasco on the field. This time it'll be a 26-yard field goal attempt.
And Cedar Hill will have to watch out for a fake.
Good call, Cam. Carrasco looks to be trying it from the right hash mark, a 26-yarder. The snap is good. The hold is down and the kick is up, and it is good. And with 10.5 minutes to go in the first half, Duncanville cracks the scoreboard. The Cedar Hill Longhorns 16, Duncanville 3. Cedar Hill Longhorn football on the Champion Sports Radio Network will be back in a moment.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Hello, everyone. We're back at Panther Stadium in Duncanville, Texas. I was about to say, hey, frickin' frack to my broadcast partners who were over here debating whether or not Duncanville should have settled for 3 points on that last possession. And as I was about to lambast them, needless to say, my producer and cohort Cam Boland decided to go ahead and turn my mic up. So I'm going to have to watch that. Carrasco set to kick off from his own 40. It'll be from right to left. Standing in the middle of the field is the sophomore Jalen Jackson, but it looks like a pooch kick situation for Carrasco and Duncanville, and they do pooch it down the right side. Longhorn's going to let that ball go out of bounds. Denver Daniels stands and watches it from the side. If I'm Cedar Hill, I always say this, make them kick it again, Coach. Make them kick it again.
Especially after those athletes, you just sprint it down the field, make them do it again, especially with the return guys that Cedar Hill has.
Longhorns are going to, I believe, do just that. You make them kick it again. And McGuire, the referee's coming over talking to Joey McGuire right now, and there seems to be some discussion, and I'm not sure possibly what that discussion could be about. Duncanville now does the right thing. They put their defense on the field. And the Longhorns have opted, I do believe, to take the kick.
I think initially Coach McGuire may have wanted to have them re-kick, but after the kickoff team got a chance to rest, it may have then had a change of heart.
Correct. So the Longhorns will take it on the 30-yard line, moving from left to right. 10:30 to go in the first half of this 8-6A encounter, and the Longhorns leading Duncanville 16-3. Daniels and Ware, the setbacks on either side of McMillan, Lodge wide to the right on 1st and 10. They hand it off on the sweep, coming near side to Daniels. He cuts it up to the 30 and gets out of bounds at the 33-yard line, where he's taken down hard on the tackle by number 9, E.J. Prather, the defensive back. And Prather made a horse collar type tackle that was pretty strange. Now, Justin McMillan quickly, the Longhorns come to the line, and McMillan comes wide receiver wide to the right, and DeMarcus Lodge is now the quarterback in the Wildcat. On 2nd 8, direct snap to Lodge. 3-step drop. He's going to bring it down. Pulls it down 35-40. 45-50. 45-40. 35-30. Hey, turn out the lights, baby. DeMarcus is going home. Touchdown. DeMarcus Ware. 70 yards on the quarterback keeper for the best player in the state of Texas, number 18, DeMarcus Lodge. Longhorns 22-3.
And just a great job of blocking by the offensive line, and really by Denver Daniels, and I believe also on the outside there by number 3, Darius Harper on the perimeter. Just a tremendous job making sure that everyone was sealed, no holding penalty, and it was an easy lane for Lodge to read and scramble for that touchdown.
I gave him 70 on the run. Let's just make it 67. It wasn't 2nd and 10, but 2nd and 7. I got a little excited. I do that when DeMarcus is in the Wildcat. It's on the quarterback keeper around the left side, and your point is well taken, Cam. What a great block by Darius Harper on the outside, and boy, does 18 have some jets.
Yeah, and he's already thrown a touchdown. Now he's ran for one, and we'll see if he can catch one.
Can he hit for the cycle tonight, Cody? That's the big question.
And he's been back on punt return too, so we'll see if that
would be a 4-for-4. That would be the cycle there. He is halfway home to Cam's point. He's thrown one and he's run for one now. So let's see what else awaits for Superman tonight. DeMarcus Lodge, 67 yards to the house, and the Longhorns lead 23-3. And now, guys, y'all can continue to debate that very important topic of whether or not Duncanville should have kicked a field goal or gone for the touchdown, because the Longhorns offense, baby, is cranking it up tonight. Michael Glaze pulling out all the stops for the Duncanville Panthers, set to kick off. Brooks Ralph, he'll be kicking from his left to his right at his own 40-yard line. Ralph approaches the ball, bingo, bango, bongo. He drills another one into the end zone. Fumbled there, but down on one knee goes the Duncanville return man, and with 9:43 to go, Longhorns have opened up a 23-3 margin on the Duncanville Panthers. Cody, can you say enough about what DeMarcus Lodge does week in and week out?
Man, you really can't, Bill. And going into this season and even last season, talking to Coach Glaze and Coach McGuire, they want to get the ball in his hands any way possible, whether it's jet sweeps, whether it's fades when they're in the red zone, or whether it's right there, him being in the Wildcat. He's kind of in that situation where everybody knows he's going to run. He hadn't thrown the ball coming into this game, but has already thrown a touchdown pass, but still a threat nonetheless.
First down and 10 from the 25 of Duncanville. Lanigan back in at quarterback. Inside handoff is faked. He keeps it on the option up to the 35, and he's taken down after a gain of almost 10 yards, and that's not Lanigan again. That's Michael Myers, number 1, the junior. God, those guys look almost exactly alike.
And Michael Myers has put some impressive moves on some Cedar Hill defenders. Again, a play where they probably had him trapped for a 1, maybe a 2-yard gain at the most, and he's able to wiggle out of there to pick up the first down.
Give him a 10-yard gain, and it's first down from the 35. Myers straight back in a pocket will throw, looking. Protection's great. Now breaks down. He scrambles to his right, makes one man miss, starts to run. He's up to the 40, up to the 44-yard line.
And the Duncanville offense seems to have a bit of a different flow and kind of a bounce to their step with Myers in at quarterback.
Yeah, they do, Cam. You're absolutely right. They look quicker, or maybe it's just he that looks quicker that makes them look quicker, but whatever it is, they move the ball a little better when one's in the game at quarterback, at least for tonight. Myers remains in the shotgun, 2nd down and 2. Richmond, the running back behind him, twin receivers to the right. Inside handoff to Richmond. He scrapes off one tackle. Now he's trying to get away. He reverses his field. He's all the way back at the 27-yard line trying to get away, and he can't. Oh, my goodness gracious. That's going to end up being a loss of – let's see where they give him forward progress to. to the 29-yard line. Oh, my goodness gracious, that's a 16-yard loss for Richmond, who tried to break a tackle in the backfield, and then instead of going forward, he just reversed his field and went toward the wrong end zone, and Cedar Hill tracked him down, and that's going to make it 3rd down, and Duncanville's got to get to just outside of downtown Dallas for a 1st down. Myers in the shotgun, trip receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Myers will throw straight back in the pocket. Here comes the rush. He throws the deep out. Nice throw. Ball's complete up near midfield. It's number 18, La'Arius Allen, on the catch. And I'll tell you, number 19 for the Horns, Eric Sutton, had good coverage. That was a good pitch and catch, Cam.
Yeah, Eric Sutton really doing a good job in at safety. And with these 5 wide sets, he's having to move into a lot and cover these slot receivers, doing a really good, tremendous job.
Duncanville gets it all the way to downtown Dallas. They get their 1st down at the 49-yard line of Duncanville. The Panthers send trips to the right, 1 to the left. From the left hash mark on 1st down, direct snap to Myers. He runs the option to the right, cuts it up, got room, 50, 45, cuts it to the outside 40, 35. Turns the corner at the 35, and he's finally run out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And that's going to be a gain of about 19 yards. And Mike Myers, pretty exciting kid, Cam. He's got some quick feet.
Yeah, coming into the game, completing just over 50% of his passes for almost 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, and only 1 pick. And he also has 50 yards rushing on the season.
Longhorns lead 23-3. Here in the 2nd quarter, Myers empty backfield now in the shotgun. 1st and 10 from the 34. Myers straight back in the pocket, looking, throws the in route. The ball's almost picked off. Oh, my goodness gracious. The Longhorn defender read it like a book. It was number 31, Colby McGarry, who came from his outside linebacker spot, set on the curl route, and he was looking to play a little DeMarcus Lodge himself right there, but he couldn't hang on to the ball, Cody.
And one thing going on with Michael Myers right now as Duncanville hurries up to the line is he's locking in on one receiver. He's not really progressing through his routes, and if that guy's not there, he's off and running with it, so it's really going to be something the Longhorn defense needs to key on.
From the 34-yard line, it's 2nd and 10. Empty backfield again for Duncanville. Meyer in the shotgun. Direct snap. Meyer will throw it. Straight back in the pocket. Looking. Throws the out route. Got a man complete at the 30. Up to the 25. All the way down to the 22-yard line. Running inside is number 18, La'Arius Allen. And Duncanville starting to put some plays together. And Joey McGuire says, I've seen enough. He wants a timeout for his defense. And we'll take one, too. Longhorns 23. Duncanville 3 as we play here in the 2nd quarter, and Longhorn football will be back in a moment.
Get all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow @Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter @Champion Sports and Facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship social media.
Back at Panther Stadium in Duncanville, Texas, the Cedar Hill Longhorns in the 2nd period of play leading 23-3. The reason we haven't given you the time when we've gone to timeouts is the clock on the scoreboard. There are lights out, so we believe that there's 3:19 left. It could be a different number than 3, though, so we can't be completely sure. We'll just kind of have to hang on and see. But we are later in the 2nd quarter, and the Longhorns leading 23-3, but the Duncanville Panthers on the move, looking at a 1st down and 10 from the Cedar Hill 22-yard line. Michael Myers, the quarterback. Twin receivers to the left, one in the slot to the left. Myers will throw straight back, throwing the deep out route, but he overthrows the intended receiver. His running back number 10, Roosevelt Richmond III. That's going to bring up 2nd down as the clock goes to some number of minutes and 15 seconds left in the 2nd quarter. Ah, the joys of high school football. Duncanville with a 2nd and 10 from the Longhorn 22, now on the right hash mark. Myers in the shotgun. Trip receivers bunched to the left, one receiver to the right. Direct snap. Myers rolls to the near side. Looking, sets up. Throws back across the middle. What a great catch. There's a flag down on the play. Going to be interference, I think, against Cedar Hill. But I tell you, that was a great catch by number 81, Kevin Bell Jr.
And what a tremendous throw as well by the quarterback. Rolling out to his left. And he's a righty, so he squared up his body and just threw a laser to the receiver, and really in a good spot as he was between two defenders, but it was in a spot where he could actually protect himself and not have to take a big hit.
Colby McGarry guilty of the interference call. Duncanville will decline that. It'll be 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Twin receivers to the left and right. Ball sets on the left hash mark. 6:55 to go, and the clock running left in the first half. Direct snap coming to Myers in the shotgun. He rolls right side. Looking. Throwing it back of the end zone. Got a man. Touchdown. And I believe it's 19 on the catch. Xavier Brown, who hauls in the 9-yard touchdown pass from Michael Myers. And with 6:43 to go in the first half, the Duncanville Panthers have cut Cedar Hill's lead to 23-9, pending the extra point coming from number 30, Eric Carrasco. And a nice drive put together there by the junior quarterback, Michael Myers, in the Duncanville offense. The extra point attempt by Carrasco is up, and it is good. And with 6:43 to go, it's Duncanville. Now with 10 points on the board, they still trail the Cedar Hill Longhorns 23-10. Longhorns football will be back in a moment.
Said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Back at Panther Stadium in Duncanville, Texas, a 9-yard touchdown pass from quarterback Michael Myers to Xavier Brown has cut the Cedar Hill Longhorn lead with 6:43 to go in the first half to 23-10. Carrasco set to kick off from his own 40-yard line. Longhorns must be weary of any tricks now by the Duncanville kicking game. Longhorns have Daniels, Harper, and Jackson in a triangular formation back to receive the kick. Harper on the 20 is on the near side. Daniels is on the far side on the 20, and standing back on his own 5-yard line is the sophomore number 10, Jalen Jackson. Longhorns wait for Duncanville to get set. They are ready now. They fake the run up and kick and now go back into a regular kick formation. Carrasco gets the okay from the official and approaches the ball. And he hits a boomer that's going to go through the back of the end zone, and the Longhorns will take it 1st down and 10 at their own 25 with 6:43 to go. And before the Longhorns offense, which has really been clicking tonight, comes on the field to get going, Cam, got to be impressed with Michael Myers, the Duncanville junior quarterback.
Yeah, Myers really came in and infused some life and energy into the Duncanville offense, something that they were sorely lacking coming in, and that was really needed as the game was starting to get out of hand with the Cedar Hill offense rolling. Now, with them being down only 13 points, and it still being early here in the second quarter, they have an opportunity with a couple of big plays defensively or possibly on special teams to get back in the game.
Great time for Cedar Hill to answer that score. Cedric Ware, the running back, behind McMillan in the shotgun. Wide receivers to either side. Elijah Moore, H-back on the right slot. Inside handoff to Ware, coming right to the 30. Breaks the tackle up at the 30 and gets to the 32-yard line. Cedric Ware with a hard 6.5, 7-yard run. Ware got to be moving in if he hasn't already surpassed the century mark tonight with 6:25 to go in the clock running in the first half. Longhorns come with Daniels and Lodge right, trip receivers to the left. Empty backfield set on 2nd and 3 for Justin Mack. McMillan straight back, quarterback draw, got some room, going to be taken down at about the 35-yard line. I think it's going to be enough for a first down. My good eyes to my left of Cam Boland says that it is a first down, and Cam, the officials concur. 1st and 10, Longhorns just over the 35-yard line, and Longhorns go in NASCAR now, come in with Elijah Moore, H-back to the right. Darius Harper comes wide to the right. Lodge and Denver Daniels go wide to the left. Ware, the running back in the I formation behind the quarterback McMillan in the shotgun. On 1st and 10, McMillan hands it off inside. No, he fakes it to Ware, throws the bubble screen to the outside to Daniels. Good, well defended by Duncanville outside. Give Daniels about 3 on the play up near the 39, make it 2nd down and 7, and good ball handling there. Even though the play only went for 3, a good fake by Justin McMillan into Ware before he hits Daniels on the bubble.
Yeah, very important, and it keeps the Horns on schedule with the down and distance.
Twins to the right, Daniels and Harper. Lodge to the left. Elijah Moore, the H-back in a slot to the left. Ware behind McMillan on 2nd down. McMillan throws the stop route outside to Harper. He's got it at the 45. Going to be very close to the first down. Going to depend on the spot near the 46-yard line. Physical game. Harper stays down on the ground. Number 6 for Duncanville, Sidney McFall.
And that's actually Denver Daniels.
I'm sorry, it's Denver Daniels, not Harper, He came in to throw a block there at the end.
Yeah, he came in to kind of block the guy, and it appeared as though the Duncanville player came in maybe a little late. I don't think it was late enough to draw a flag, but it was a helmet-to-helmet hit. And it looked like Daniels was down for a little bit and staggered. Daniels
is going to stay down. The trainers are out on the near side of the field. We're going to take a break with 5:07 to go. Cedar Hill 23, Duncanville 10. Cedar Hill Longhorn football on the Champion Sports Radio Network. And I tell you guys, I apologize. I think we're probably going to have to keep it right here because as sure as I say that, Denver Daniels shows his resilience and toughness and hops up and looks up at the press box and says, Champion Sports Radio, please don't count me out yet. I've still got a little more in me. He jumps up and takes it over to the far side. So what we thought was going to be a stoppage of the action, in fact, isn't.
And just some quick scores real quick while we have a little bit of a break. DeSoto up 27-21, still at halftime. Mansfield Tigers hanging in out in DeSoto.
Go Tigers!
And
I'm sorry.
And
I'm not supposed to cheer, am I?
The only other district game in Cedar Hills District right now is between South Grand Prairie and Grand Prairie. South Grand Prairie up 24-0 as was going to be expected out of that game.
Resuming play from the 46, it's 1st and 10. McMillan in the shotgun. 3-step drop. Rush is coming. McMillan going to throw it away down the right side. Lodge coming back, almost makes a catch. Very nice play right there by Justin McMillan to avoid the rush, make the throw away. There's no, they pick it up. I think there was almost going to be a flag for grounding, but they pick it up because Lodge came running back toward the ball. Superman was going to fly through the air and make the catch.
And he was outside of the tackle box, and the ball was well past the line of scrimmage anyway.
That's going to make it 2nd down and 10 from their own 46. Longhorns moving from left to right. Send Jackson and Bradley to the right. Lodge and Daniels to the left. Ware the running back on 2nd down. 3-step drop. McMillan rolls out, flags down. McMillan going to be taken down at the 44-yard line. Duncanville playing very physical football, but we've seen teams try this with Cedar Hill before. We do have a flag down on the far side of the field. Let's check and see what that is after McMillan's 2-yard gain. I think it may be offsides against Duncanville.
And it appeared to me as though that was what was going to be the case. It appeared as though the outside linebacker jumped offsides, and that is what the referee calls that. Justin McMillan's done a great job of realizing that in the past, but the flag was thrown a little bit late as the play was progressing. He didn't realize he had a free play.
The defensive end came crashing in that jumped offsides, the outside linebacker, and calls McMillan to pull the ball down and pick up a couple of yards, but it turns out to be a free 5 yards and a down over for Cedar Hill. Let's make it 2nd down and 5, 4:51 to go in the half. Longhorns lead 23-10, and they've got the ball on the 49-yard line on the Duncanville side of the field. Longhorns go full house backfield now with Ware, Daniels, and Ware, Daniels, and Elijah Moore now in a full house backfield. McMillan will throw straight back in the pocket. They set up the screen. They got a running back at the 50, and he runs out of bounds at the 48-yard line and gets bumped over there. Daniels, the linebacker for Duncanville, number 11, Zacharias Green, really trying to get physical and trying to get in the heads of the Cedar Hill Longhorn players right now. And what I say to Mr. Green is that's a fine attempt and do what you will do, but the Longhorns deal with physical play like this on a regular basis.
And a big 3rd down coming up here. If Cedar Hill's not able to convert, they may end up having to punt it over to Duncanville, which would be a big play to end halftime potentially for Duncanville to
Twins
regain
to the
momentum.
left. Twins to the left, one to the right, direct snap. They hand it off inside to Ware. No, he fakes it, and McMillan is dropped in the backfield by Zacharias Green, and a flag comes in on Zacharias Green, I believe, at the end of the play.
And it really is uncalled for. I don't know if he just got excited or if he meant to do that, but either in any event, it looks like he popped McMillan on the back of the helmet.
Yeah, he definitely
as he was
did.
getting up. So I don't know if he was trying to celebrate the play or what, but either way, McMillan was hitting the back of the helmet, and the official immediately threw the flag.
Well, Zacharias Green is a great football player, and he made a great play right there, undoubtedly. But there is absolutely no doubt that when he tackled McMillan hard to the ground, he slapped the back of the helmet of McMillan, and he slapped him fairly hard. I mean, it was a noticeable slap. So this is going to be a 15-yard penalty after the play, and it's going to be very close as to whether or not this is going to be a first down.
And I don't know if he may get ejected, as the officials are really having a long conference.
Well, he absolutely hit the Cedar Hill quarterback in the back of the head with his hand.
Yeah.
Now, to what degree, I don't know. Everybody's talking about it right now out in the middle of the field, and they're coming over to talk to the head coach of the Duncanville Panthers, Jeff Dicus. And I think we'll be able to tell by Dicus's reaction is there's almost certainly going to be a 15-yard penalty on this play against the Duncanville Panthers. And if it does turn out to be a first down, and if Cedar Hill,
what a big play!
Oh my goodness, it's an enormous play, because to Cody's point, they've got all the momentum and they're about to get the ball back, and
especially at that point, you drop them for another 7, maybe 8-yard loss.
It is going to be a 15-yard penalty. They're marking it off now. Now let's see if it will end up being a first down for the Cedar Hill Longhorns, and it will. That's going to take it all the way to the 40-yard line. They call it a live ball penalty, not a dead ball penalty. So it goes from the line of scrimmage. Number 11, Zacharias Green, stays in the game. He was not ejected. But, oh, what a big play. And if Cedar Hill, should continue down the field and be able to score on this drive, that is a huge play in this football game.
Yeah, especially with the quarterback really starting to get on the roll.
Resuming play, Twins to the right, one to the left. Ware, the running back, from the right hash mark. McMillan in the shotgun. Jet sweep is fake. They hand it off to Cedar to the 40, 35, 30. Breaks a tackle down at the 25. Ooh, that's hard running. Longhorns will play physical if you want to play physical. And they do right there, all the way down to the 27-yard line. Give 13 yards to Cedric Ware. I got to tell you, I got a little of that Michael Glaze and Joey McGuire rubbing off on me a little bit. If you want to get physical with our football team, we're capable of getting physical in return. And Cedric Ware showed it right there on a 13-yard gain. 4:08 to go in the half, clock running. Longhorns leading 23-10. Daniels and Ware the setbacks. Twin receivers to the left, one to the right on first down. Direct snap to McMillan. Straight back in the pocket. Here comes the blitz. Throws it out. Got a man wide open at the 10. 5, he makes the move into the end zone. What a block by DeAndre Bradley. Touchdown, Cedar Hill Longhorns. Oh, what a block by DeAndre Bradley at the 3. You want to be physical? We can be physical.
Yeah, and I saw that one coming
gracious.
From a mile away, and Coach Dicus looks like he's a little bit upset with the physicality, but hey, that's a live ball, man.
That is a live ball play, and the Longhorns going to go for 2 here. And I'm going to tell you something, a blown coverage. Duncanville comes with the blitz. Denver Daniels all alone at the 15 coming out of the backfield. And I'm here to tell you, DeAndre Bradley just sent a message that resonated through 8-6A, and that is, if you want to play physical, we can play physical too within the bounds of the rules. DeAndre Bradley lit up the Duncanville defender that put Denver Daniels into the end zone for the touchdown catch. Longhorns extend their lead to 29-10, and Longhorns going to go for 2, but before they do, Longhorns going to take a timeout. And that's pretty interesting with 3:50 left in the first half, and I'm anxious to get your guys' slant on that, is that we've seen this. We saw it in the Skyline game. We saw it a little bit in the Bowie game, where there's this apparent style of competing with Cedar Hill that we can be more physical. We can get them out of their football game. And I think it's a little bit of a mistake.
Yeah, I think it's best to I've always thought it's best to let a sleeping dog lie. And not that Cedar Hill was sleeping in this game, but just the thought process of, I mean, these guys are good enough already. I don't need to make them upset too.
Well, exactly, and Cedar Hill is not a tricky football team, and of course you say that, and DeMarcus Lodge runs for a touchdown from the Wildcat and throws a touchdown off the reverse pass, but week in and week out, the majority of the time, Cedar Hill is a between the tackles football team. They don't mind playing physical football. And I appreciate the excitement of any defender wanting to get excited, but just a terrible mistake by the Duncanville defender to pick up that 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, that's a 7-point, possibly an 8-point swing.
McMillan in the shotgun. Daniels the setback. Longhorns going to go for 2. They run the reverse. Longhorns throw it in the end zone, got a man wide open, and it's McMillan from number 32, Elijah Moore, as they run the reverse. See, I just got through saying we're not out to trick anybody, and we run the reverse pass with the H-back, and he hits the quarterback in the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
Well, and where the play started, let me break this down for our viewers. I'm not sure if everybody in the press box saw this. McMillan walked up to the line as though he's making a play call at the line of scrimmage. While he's at the line, the ball was snapped to Denver Daniels, who handed it off to Elijah Moore. And while McMillan was up talking to the line, he slipped out into the flat, wide open in the end zone.
Longhorns pulling out all the Tom trickery tonight, huh? Good pickup, Cody Krim. When we were extolling the virtues of Cedar Hill's physicality, Michael Glaze went back and pulled yet another rabbit out of the hat. The Longhorns pick up the 2-point conversion. They lead 31-10 with 3:50 to go in the first quarter. And let me go back and just say, again, you don't want to pick on any kid, because they're out here playing hard. But the Duncanville defender that slapped Justin McMillan on the helmet after sacking him, which would have been a 4th and 18, and Cedar Hill would have had to punt with 4 minutes and 49 seconds left in the half, turns into a first down for Cedar Hill, and they score 2 plays later and get the 2-point conversion.
Yeah, and Duncanville was already it had all the momentum, and it seemed like it really took the air out of their sail after they got another chance and a second opportunity. And when you have an offense with the potency of Cedar Hill, you really can't afford to give them multiple chances to score, especially after you make a tremendous play on defense and force a 4th down.
That mistake, we will see by the game's end what kind of factor it turns out to have. It looks big right now. Brooks Ralph set to kick off. He hits a pooch kick down the right side. Duncanville going to field it at their own 25-yard line, and the return man is tackled almost immediately at the 25 by the Cedar Hill Longhorns. So with 3:45 to go, quarterback Michael Myers brings his offense back on the field. And gentlemen, since Mr. Myers has taken over a quarterback late in the first quarter, the Duncanville Panthers have looked a little different on offense, and Myers is coming back once again to lead them with 3:45 to go, but now his team down 31-10.
And as a matter of fact, Myers was 5 of 8 for 108 yards passing and a touchdown, and 4 carries for 40 yards and at 10 yards a clip. So very efficient a couple of drives for Mr. Myers since he started at the helm.
Twins to the left, one to the right, one back in the backfield from the 25. Myers runs option to the right. They fake it. Now they're trying to throw it downfield. They got a man wide open, and the ball's incomplete. Great play. They ran option to the near side of the field, but Myers pulled the ball down, went back in the pocket to throw off the option, and 81, Kevin Bell Jr. was wide open at the Cedar Hill 45, but Myers couldn't get the ball to him, and DeAndre Bradley made a nice play making up ground there to get over.
Yeah, made the throw a lot more difficult than it initially seemed. It almost looked like the quarterback was a little too lackadaisical, but he still just flicked his wrist and got the ball there really easily.
2nd and 10 from the 25. They run option right again. The pitch to the running back is up to the 30. He's to the 35, to the 37-yard line. And again, it's Roosevelt Richmond III, their running back, and that's enough for a first down. They'll stop the clock with 3:30 while they move the chains. And the Longhorns leading 31-10. Need not let Duncanville breathe very much, and that's what another touchdown would do. It would give Duncanville a little bit of momentum going into the half. From their own 37, for Duncanville moving from right to left. Myers in the shotgun, direct snap. He rolls to his right. He's looking, throws the ball over the head of the receiver, and almost intercepted by DeAndre Bradley, intended for number 18. There's a flag that comes in, and we're going to have personal foul roughing the quarterback against Cedar Hill.
That's a killer. And to Cody's point earlier, young quarterback really locked on to his slot receiver as both defenders from Cedar Hill really went with the slot, and the outside receiver was wide open on a hook pattern, and he would have had one person to beat for a touchdown had the ball been thrown out to him.
The 15-yard roughing the passer penalty is going to make up for the incomplete throw by Myers. It moves the ball to the Cedar Hill 48 with 3 minutes and 13 seconds. They'll go from the left hash mark. With 3:13 to go in the half, Longhorns leading 31-10. Myers in the shotgun sends twin receivers to the short side, one receiver to the far side, the far right. Richmond, the running back, behind Myers on 1st and 10. Inside handoff to Richmond. Big hole up across the 40, across the 38, down to the 37-yard line goes Roosevelt Richmond III. And that's going to be just short of a first down, make it 2nd down and 1, so the clock will continue to run with 2:55. Duncanville quick to the line of scrimmage, twins to the left, one to the right. Inside handoff again to Richmond. This time he's going to be taken down, but not before he picks up 1.5 yards. And that's going to be enough for a first down for the Duncanville Panthers. That'll stop the clock with 2:45 while they move the chains. Myers keeps Richmond as the eye back, sends twin receivers to the left and one to the right. Ball on the right hash mark. Duncanville moves from right to left. Option play to the outside. He pulls it up and throws it. And the ball's complete and a flag comes in. It's complete for a 1-yard gain to number 34, Reginald Qualls. They throw a flag, and they're going to say interference on 19, Eric Sutton. And Eric Sutton arrived. No, they're going to say ineligible receiver downfield. Bill, you need to trust these fine officials. I tell you, I got all excited there thinking they had thrown the flag on my man Eric Sutton for arriving too early, when in fact they had caught the Duncanville offensive lineman with his hand in the cookie jar being downfield. So it's an ineligible receiver downfield, and I think that's a fine call, Cam. They're going to move it back to the 42-yard line, a 5-yard penalty. Make it 1st down and 15, clock at 2:32. Panthers moving from right to left. Panther Stadium on an absolutely beautiful night so far. It's supposed to rain, but we haven't seen any yet. Twin receivers to the right, to the far side of the field, one to the near side to the left. Richmond, the running back, behind Myers, the quarterback. Direct snap to Myers on 1st down, straight back in the pocket. He's looking, he steps up, here comes the Longhorn defense, and they sack him at the 45-yard line. And it's number 53, Jalen Penton, on the sack. Shades of Xavier Washington, as Penton speed rushed around from his left end position and dropped Myers for a 1-yard loss. The clock runs inside 1:54. That's going to make it 2nd down and 16 now. Duncanville back to the line of scrimmage. Comes twin receivers to the short side of the field, to the far side of the field. One receiver. Richmond remains the running back to Myers' right. Direct snap to Myers, straight back in the pocket. He's looking, he's in trouble. Here comes the rush. They drag him down, but he throws the ball away out of bounds. He was outside the tackle box, and he did get it over the line of scrimmage, so no grounding there. But that's going to make it 3rd and 15. And, Cam, all of a sudden, the Longhorn defensive front starting to get a little pressure.
Yeah, the pressure had waned a little bit, but at this point in the last few plays, it's really been a tough go here for Duncanville, as there hasn't really been any protection at all for the young quarterback.
Runard Jimerson, number 80, checks in at wide receiver. He goes wide to the right with Bell, one receiver to the left. On 3rd down and 16, Myers in the shotgun, looks over the Cedar Hill defense. And before anything can happen, a whistle blows, and a delay of game penalty is going to back Duncanville up 5 more and make it 3rd and 21. Meyer was asking the center to snap the ball, but the center wasn't snapping it, and sure enough, the play clock ran out.
Well, and if you're Duncanville here, you may want to think about running the football and just getting into halftime. If you don't make this and it's an incomplete pass or something, you're going to be forced to punt it to Cedar Hill with still a minute and a half left.
You make a good point, Cody, because Cedar Hill has no timeouts remaining. On 3rd down and a bunch, straight back in the pocket goes the quarterback, Myers. He's going to be sacked all the way back at the 30-yard line. Oh, the Cedar Hill defensive line just really coming now. It's number 31, the linebacker, Colby McGrary. He's joined back there by number 17, Jumonte Lewis. And Cam, Jumonte Lewis had him a nice first half here.
Yeah, and McGarry is looks like he went down. I'm not sure if it's a cramp or some sort of a lower body injury.
McGarry goes down. They stop the clock with 1:04 to go in the half. McGarry looks like he's going to be down for a few seconds, and we'll keep an eye on that. We'll tell you what's going on as soon as we come back at Panther Stadium with the score: Cedar Hill 31, Duncanville 10. Longhorn football will be back in a moment.
Are you looking for a way to promote your business or increase exposure? Do you just need more people to know that you're there? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games to more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. Think about it. Die-hard fans just like you tune in each and every week, giving your business unparalleled access to the community. It's the perfect way for smaller individually owned businesses to cultivate a core clientele or expand their already loyal customer base. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334, or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcast.
It's 4th down for the Panthers. The ball marked at forward progress after the sack by Lewis and McGarry puts Duncanville all the way back at their own 40-yard line. That's going to make it 4th down and 33 to go, and this time they really would have to get just outside of downtown Dallas for a first down, but instead Jimenez is on to punt. Denver Daniels and Jalen Jackson stand on their own 25-yard line, and the Longhorns got to be thinking more points now. Direct snap to Jimenez. It's a good one. He hits a high, short kick. Daniels going to let the ball bounce. Did it touch Jalen Jackson? If it did, it will be Duncanville's ball, and Jalen Jackson, I'm not sure. They say no, it did not hit Jalen Jackson. It will be Duncanville's ball. And Cody, Cam, I can't really figure out why Jalen Jackson ran all the way across the field.
No, it appears.
And now they do. They have said that it did hit the.
And it did look like it may have hit his hand as he reached back.
Jalen.
Just a young.
That's an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty at the end of the play on the Cedar Hill Longhorns as well.
No, I believe what happened was that Denver Daniels called a fair catch and didn't make an attempt to catch it, possibly. And Jalen Jackson came over. I don't know what.
Well, you don't have to actually make an attempt to catch the ball after you call a fair catch.
No, you absolutely do not. There's going to be a 15-yard penalty. So Jalen Jackson, what a horrendous mistake by the sophomore. And I know no one feels worse about it than Jalen, and Jalen's one of the best young players and not in just this area, but in the state of Texas, maybe the best sophomore running back around. But he made a mistake right there, going all the way across the field in an attempt to field the punt. He touched it, and then after the play ends, Cedar Hill gets an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. It all ends with Duncanville having a 1st and 10 with the ball at the Cedar Hill 12. So Cedar Hill gives back a very bad decision in play, and on 1st down, Myers back in the pocket, throwing toward the end zone. The ball's incomplete, and flags in all over the place. It's interference against Cedar Hill's number 1, DeAndre Bradley, and that'll put the ball closer even still with another 1st down with 13 seconds to go. Duncanville does have 2 timeouts left. It is interference against Cedar Hill. It'll depend on where the Cedar Hill defender interfered as to where the ball will be placed.
And I believe it was in the end zone.
Okay, they're going to place it then all the way up at the 3-yard line. Now 13 seconds to go. 2 timeouts. Duncanville must be careful. Longhorns lead 31-10. Duncanville trying to get a stolen score here at the end of the 1st half. Myers in the shotgun, twins to the left, one to the right. Richmond, the running back, to his left. On 1st down with 13 seconds to go, direct snap. They throw the fade right side. They have a man out there, and the ball's incomplete. Great coverage on the fade route, and credit number 9, Darryl Miller, with super coverage on the fade as they were trying to go to number 19, Xavier Brown, in the right corner of the end zone. 10 seconds to go, 2nd down. 2 timeouts for the Panthers. They could conceivably run the ball if they did not get in the end zone. They could use a timeout.
And you would assume Coach Dykes has told Myers not to scramble around and be cognizant of the clock.
On 2nd down, direct snap. Myers rolls out to his right. He's got time. He throws in the end zone, but he overthrows the receiver. Great pressure by the Longhorns. 6 seconds to go. The ball is incomplete. There is a flag down on the far side of the field. We'll have to see what that is, but the bigger deal is the clock continues to run against Duncanville while they're running these plays. They're down to 6 seconds now.
And I believe it was a legal motion. From up here in the press box, it looked like the running back and the receiver coming across weren't set when the ball was snapped.
All right, if that is indeed the penalty, and it is, it's going to be 5 yards. So now running the ball probably is out of the question, and the Longhorns are going to have a chance with 6 seconds to go in the 1st half, leading 31-10.
And the corners are going to have to play good inside technique to make sure they don't allow an easy touchdown on a slant pattern, as we've seen that a couple times.
So, all right, 6 seconds to go. When the ball is marked down, it will be marked down. Well, they haven't moved it back yet. I'll tell you, the officials have done a great job of explaining each and every one of these calls at length to the coaches, but not so much to the fans in the press box. It is a illegal shift, Cody, to your point. Good call. They're going to mark, and it's a delay of game penalty against Cedar Hill, and I can't figure that out either, why that would be a delay of game. But with 6 seconds to go, everything stays the same. It's 1st down and goal from the 2. Myers in the shotgun, direct snap, straight back in the pocket. He throws the fade on the outside, and the ball is caught for a touchdown. Over Eric Sutton, credit the catch.
I believe it was number 18. La'Arius Allen.
I believe you're right. We're going to check and make sure.
Yeah, that's a big kid.
Yeah, Allen makes the catch in the left corner of the end zone over Sutton, and after a bizarre last 2 minutes, there's no time remaining on the clock. So after this extra point attempt, the half will be over. It's 31-16 now. Cedar Hill leading Duncanville. And the extra point attempt by Duncanville is up, and it is good. So with the score, Cedar Hill 31, Duncanville 17, the 1st half ends. And guys, before we break for halftime, what a bizarre last 2.5 minutes of high school football. The penalties, the Longhorns had Duncanville punting the ball on a 4th and 33 They punt the ball deep downfield. The ball's going to bounce and everything's going to be fine. Cedar Hill's going to get it. Inexplicably, sophomore Jalen Jackson runs across the field and touches the ball as it comes down, and he had to run a long way to make that touch.
Well, he was just yards away from Denver Daniels, who was his opposite side of the field receiving partner. Daniels waving his arms to get away. Jackson
reached back.
Inexcusably runs all the way across the field.
He runs back, he touches the ball, and then an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty puts the ball down close to the goal line. Duncanville, then it takes them seemingly 15 more plays
in the span of 12 seconds.
In the span of 12 seconds to get the ball 3 yards, but they end up scoring the touchdown. What a first half. There wasn't much we didn't see. Thank you for being with us on Champion Sports Radio. Cedar Hill 31, Duncanville 17. We're going to replay for you the entirety of the head coach Joey McGuire pregame show and also give you, before we start the second half, some stats from the first half of play. Champion Sports Radio and Cedar Hill Longhorn Football will be back with a replay of the Joey McGuire show in just a moment.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
Shell experts here with a pitching machine and a shield to demonstrate the importance of protecting your engine.
Think of me as an engine. The Shield is new Shell gasoline with 20% more nitrogen and rich cleaning agents than before.
And the baseballs are gunk that attack intake valves and fuel injectors.
Come on, gunk, is that all you got?
Gunk is out of here!
New Shell nitrogen-enriched gasolines. No other gasoline protects your engine better.
For quality auto service and repair, see the folks at Flat Shell on Preston Road at I-635.
Are you tired of only spending time as a family huddled around the TV? Would you like to enjoy some culture with your loved ones without breaking the bank? Then let me introduce you to the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra. The GDYO provides music education and performance opportunities for musically talented youth, but this is no kids' concert. The GDYO comprises 7 different ensembles made up of over 425 talented musicians ages 8 to 18, representing more than 50 communities in North Texas. You won't believe how amazing these ensembles sound until you hear it for yourself. So join them for one of their concerts at the Meyerson Symphony Center or Dallas City Performance Hall. For more information on how to make a donation, as well as a listing of upcoming GDYO concerts, visit gdyo.org. And if you know a talented young musician interested in an unbelievable experience, auditions take place in the spring. Connect with the Greater Dallas Youth Orchestra on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and at gdyo.org.
Do you need a boost in exposure? Want to reach local, community-minded folks with information about your business? Join the Champion Sports Radio team and advertise during these games. In the last 4 years, Champion Sports Radio has broadcast over 600 games for more than 3.5 million listeners. And Champion Sports Radio wants to help you use major high school sports to reach thousands of local fans right in your community. It's also a way for your business to give back to the community by helping all these well-deserving student-athletes get some recognition for their accomplishments. The cost simply can't be beat for the effect it will have. You get a lot of bang for your buck, and best of all, it provides an opportunity for the best advertisement of all, word of mouth. To secure your prime commercial spot during the broadcast, contact Thomas Lee at Champion Sports Radio by phone at 972-741-0334. That's 972-741-0334 or online at championsportsradio.com. Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
Stay up on all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow at Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter at Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship social media.
Hi again, everyone, and welcome to the Joey McGuire Show as the Cedar Hill Longhorns coming off a district opening win over the Midlothian Panthers, 56-27 last Friday night, and now getting ready for Week 2 in District 8 6A. They take on the Duncanville Panthers, and Coach, thanks for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Well, you got to be pleased. You kicked it off the right way. You kicked it off with a victory over a Midlothian team. When you talk about a score being 56-27 and the game not being as close as the score indicated, that kind of gives you an idea of how one-sided that football game was from a spectator standpoint. But before we talk about our Cedar Hill Longhorns, a tip of the cap to the Midlothian Panthers, a little outmanned a week ago, but played hard for 4 quarters.
Well, you know, what I think of Lee Wigington, I mean, I think he's one of the best X's and O's coaches in the state of Texas. And, you know, he always has something that he's seen throughout the week and comes up with some different schemes. I thought they did a great job in their two-back, running the ISO or kind of the lead play, the old throwback, which they hadn't run a lot of that. So, you know, I thought they did a good job of doing that early and then running the quarterback, you know, off of that same look. And they had got some pretty good plays off of it.
A big first quarter for Midlothian, and I say big from the standpoint of the quarter ends with no score in the game. They played you dead even. How frustrating was it for your offense? Number one, they weren't getting many opportunities in the first quarter, and secondarily, the Longhorns, used to scoring a lot of points early, weren't able to do that against Midlothian.
Well, you know, the thing that you said was perfect. You know, we didn't have a lot of opportunities. The one thing that we are doing right now, just as a whole, is we're not taking a lot of snaps in games. I mean, I think we took 43 or 44 snaps in that game, and in the Coppell game, we might have been over 50. So we're not taking a lot of snaps, and that's for 2 different reasons. Number one, because we're scoring so fast, but number 2, you know, we haven't been very good at different times coming out in the first quarter, and we didn't do a good job of coming out. We had a couple things. You know, should have hit a pass and didn't, had a bad snap, just a couple things like that.
Offensively, well, once your team did get on track in the second quarter, you talked about them scoring fast, 3 scoring drives in under 2 minutes. Really, by halftime, a game that had been scoreless after one stanza was pretty much done by halftime. I know you as a coach didn't feel that way, but us in the press box, you know, we felt like by that point, Cedar Hill was completely in control. What changed other than getting the opportunities?
Well, I thought the defense, I mean, if you look in the first half, I mean, besides the last play of the half or the last play of Midlothian's offensive half to where they scored and we blew a coverage on a, you know, Eric Sutton, that was his first varsity game at safety. And, I mean, I thought he played great, but, you know, just got mixed up coverage-wise. I thought the defense played really well. Once again, our specialist teams strikes again and causes a turnover on kickoff. Correct. I mean, we scored 21 points in 5 plays. There were 3 possessions to where it was not in this order for sure, but there were 3 plays we scored, 1 play we scored, and 2 plays we scored.
Correct.
And so it was one of those deals of scored 35 points in the second quarter, and that's kind of how our offense is right now. I mean, you get these athletes, these special athletes in space, then anybody on that offensive side of the ball can go to the house.
Well, let's talk a little bit about those special athletes. We've talked about them all season, but you know, your offensive line, obviously outside the skill position, your offensive line did a great job again Friday night against Midlothian, but your skill players, the ones that everyone in the stands notices. Talk a little bit about first Cedric Ware and what a fantastic season he's having, what a great game he had. Remarkable vision for the USC pledge.
You know, he's playing incredible. I want to start off by what you started with, his offensive line. I mean, this quite possibly, you'll have to go back to the 09 offensive line with Adam Shedd and Ricky Gonzalez and, you know, those guys, or the 06 offensive line whenever you start talking about Thomas Ashcraft, John Jones, Jesus Fuentes, to find an offensive line anywhere close to this offensive line. Our offensive line, Randy Christian, Justice Powers, Chris Frazier, Desmond Duncan, and Jared Williams, they're playing as good as any group we've ever had. When you have that dominating up front and you're giving the ball to a USC commit who has incredible speed, who has incredible size, who has incredible strength, who has incredible vision, then you get a team that's rushing for 300-plus yards a game. And Cedar, Ware, Denver Daniels, all those guys that we're fixing to talk about, they are just so explosive in space.
Denver Daniels is another back that is off to a great start. Of course, his goal of 2,000 total yards for the year, he's on his way to that. He's getting the requisite number of touches. What's the biggest asset Denver Daniels has going for him as you go into week 2 of district play?
Well, you're such a great baseball guy. He's a utility guy. I mean, he can do it all. I mean, you'll see him tomorrow night. He's going to line up some at quarterback on a special play. You'll see him tomorrow night at running back. You'll see him at receiver, punt return, kick return. The kid is just so electric and so versatile that he can play all those positions, and that's making a huge difference in our offense.
Of course, the quarterback, Justin McMillan, pulling the trigger, has been or looked to us to have been a little inconsistent. And of course, that's so unfair because he's already set the bar so high.
Right.
Tough when you win a state championship as a junior. Everyone looks for the utmost every week. But he seemed to, against Midlothian, start playing with the swagger and confidence that we saw during the playoff run a year ago. Is that what you coaches see?
Well, he's the one thing about Justin that's, I think, and we've talked about this before, different than last year, is his ability to run the football, a true threat running the football. So I think that he's doing a great job there. He threw the ball really well against Midlothian. He's kind of, it's funny, it's kind of been one game, going 10 of 12 or going 11 of 12, and another game going 9 of 18 or something like that. I'm sure you saw the same thing. I saw a stat talking about the top 12 offense quarterbacks in the Metroplex, and just because of his attempts, he's too shy of attempts where he'd be ranked number 2, 3, or 4
Correct.
in passer rating. So, it's kind of one of those deals of he's playing really well, and like we have such a high standard for him.
Correct. And of course, the talent that's around him in the receiving core, of course, you unfortunately lose a transfer over to DeSoto who was doing a good job for you, but it looks like Darius Harper has stepped in. You've got that Lodge kid. He seems to do okay every now and then, too. Your receiving core, and of course, we joke about DeMarcus, but what a phenomenal athlete. And he seemed to have played more relaxed a week ago than he looked in past weeks. I know against Skyline, there was some real pressing there,
right.
Even by his own admission.
Mm-hmm.
There was some real pressing there, but against Midlothian, there seemed to be that relaxed nature. He too seemed to be kind of playing with that confidence and swagger again.
Well, you and I, as great athletes we were in high school, we do not understand the pressure that the number 1 ranked offensive player in the state is under, and to his standards is statistically is not having the year that probably everybody thought he would. And that's not anything, there's no reason for that. I mean, it's going to happen. It just hasn't happened and hasn't needed to happen. So it's kind of been one of those deals. He's got 12 catches and he's got 6 touchdowns. And he had 3 catches the other night for 77 yards. I mean, he is relaxed, but what's tough is you hear so many people. He's hearing so many people's ear that he's just got to trust his ability, trust the people around him, and relax. And I think you saw that against Midlothian.
Yeah, and talked to him just briefly after the game, and we talked about the season being a marathon and not a sprint.
Right.
And the opportunities certainly will be plentiful as the year goes on, and of course the capability of him making big plays. Reared its head again against Midlothian, and to your point, 12 catches, 6 touchdowns. That's not a bad average.
No, it's not. And, you're getting into those deals to where in some of those games, last week, Coppell, some of the second half against South Oak Cliff, you know me, I'm not going to come out there and if we're up by 21 points, throw the football. And so there's some that you've got to look at, too, that you're not getting the same opportunities that you did whenever you played Geyer, and it was a 38-31 game, or where you're playing Allen and you're playing from behind, or you're playing, DeSoto that first week of district. I mean, it's a little bit different, and sometimes people have stats that are empty stats, And the only stat we care about in Cedar Hill is the win.
Of course. And just to wrap up our look back at the Midlothian game, tip of the cap to you and your coaching staff. A game that was at one time 49-13 as the fourth quarter began. Cedar Hill removes its offensive starters for the most part and really took the foot off the gas, and a game that could have really been out of hand ugly from a score standpoint turned out not to be. Plus, you get Darius Harper and some of the backup running backs some work, and what a great job they did.
Well, man, it was so much fun. I mean, Ezekiel Jones, he probably would have scored if he hadn't run in the back of Josh Stewart. But you were talking about a kid that's been excited all week long. That's what, is so much fun of being in games where you can get those guys in there. And you saw that. And then in the second half, really the fourth quarter, we gave up 2 touchdowns. I mean, you hate it when those guys come in because they practice too, and you expect them to execute. But we gave up 2 cheap touchdowns with our 2s in there. But they got to play, and they worked their tails off just like everybody else. And you want those guys to play in those situations.
Very exciting for those players that put in so much time and effort. When we come back, we'll talk to Coach Joey McGuire about this week's opponent, I should say, the Duncanville Panthers, when we return on the Coach Joey McGuire Show.
Till it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schroff, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting. It's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shockbox Helmet Impact Sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit ShopboxDFW.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit ShockboxDFW.com today. ShockboxDFW.com.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be 3 things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music.
GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute online at gdyo.org/jazz.
Ranking in the coaches poll and the riders poll has dropped to number 12 in the state, so we got some ground to make up there. But does that really matter, Coach?
It doesn't matter. I mean, I think it might matter to fans and it might matter to some different people, but at the end of the year, there's going to be one person that's going to host the state championship trophy. And I don't know where we've been the last couple of years ending the season, but it hadn't been in probably the top 2 or 3, but we've been there the last 2 years in the state game.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, Coach, you hadn't been in the top 15 the last 2 years when the playoffs started, and that's interesting that you and your coaching staff understand or realize that, and I'm sure it's conveyed to the players. It's where we end up. It's a marathon and not a sprint, and Longhorns at 4-1, 1-0 in district. Take on a real enigma this week. Let's talk a little bit about this week's opponent, the Duncanville Panthers. Of course, Jeff Dykus coming over from Lake Travis where he won state championships. I wanted to say it was just 3 or 4 years ago, but you reminded me that we're much older than that.
Yes.
This is the start of Jeff Dykus' 6th season at Duncanville. This year, his Panthers are 3-0 at home and 0-3 on the road. A real enigma of a team statistically to us in the press box that look at Duncanville. At home, they've scored 103 points and given up 73 points and are 3-0. On the road, flip it. They've scored 74, they've given up 100, and they're 0-3. What's this Duncanville Panther team about?
Well, they're a very good football team. I mean, I'm always nervous. I don't care who we're playing. I'm always nervous because anything can happen.
Oh, and by the way, Coach, they're 3-0 at home, and of course we go to Panther Stadium.
And we go there. What we're going to see tomorrow is a very athletic football team. We're going to see a team that is going to throw the football 63% of the time. It's one of those deals that we at different times have not done well in defending the pass for multiple reasons.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Coach. They're averaging 264 yards passing a game. They have 15 touchdowns against 7 interceptions. They average 15.5 yards every time they throw the football and complete the football. And given some of the struggles your Longhorn defense has had, what's been the preparation this week to get ready for a team that's going to throw the ball the majority of the time?
Well, you start off, number one, realizing that they have the top statistical leader in the district in Xavier Brown. So you better know where he's at. Their receiver that's caught 37 balls, 730-something yards receiving. So you got to know where he's at from the standpoint of where you can double him, how you can double him, different things of he's primarily an outside receiver, so having a safety over the top of him or having a linebacker underneath him, you've got to do that. The other thing is we're extremely aggressive in the secondary. And so against teams like this, you mix it up to where you're maybe playing a little bit more safe game plan and an aggressive game plan, and you don't give them the same looks to where you might not get as much single coverage that you do.
Coach, you made a couple of changes, one necessitated by injury. One, of course, you lost a fine defensive back for a few weeks in Josh Atkinson. You moved DeAndre Bradley over to a safety position on defense. How did Bradley do a week ago?
Well, he did really well. We have we grade our kids to where they're top receiver, top, DB, top linebacker, and DeAndre actually graded out as the highest DB in the game. I thought he played really well. I mean, there's still some things that he's got to get used to, and being the high safety, and when he's got a back pedal or when he can be a flat foot read guy. Did really well. He's so long. He's trying to be really physical. He's got to tackle a little bit better. He didn't tackle as well as what we saw out of number 14, but that comes with taking snaps and doing stuff like that. And I think you'll see a better tackler. But I love seeing a 6'1", 6'2" safety back there in the secondary with a team that's going to throw the ball that much.
I'm going to age myself here, as I told our broadcast team last week during an off-the-air moment, that he looks a little bit like a former Dallas Cowboys safety back in the 80s named Michael Downs, a big kid from Rice who was long and lean, and that's what DeAndre looks like. And it appeared to us, from a layman's perspective, that he did a good job. Glad to hear that the coaches felt the same. Talk a little bit, if you would, Coach, about your Tennessee commit, Daryl Miller, and the kind of year that Daryl's having, because it looks to us like Daryl's really doing a fine job technique-wise. He's been on the back end of some plays that, again, look to the layperson like it may be the cornerback's fault, but we just don't get the feeling that we've got the whole story there, that there may be some other things going on back there.
Well, you've got a couple of things when you talk about Daryl. I mean, the way we do our secondary is we're always looking from the standpoint of matchups, and we've played some great receivers. I mean, I really thought that the young man from Midlothian was a really good receiver, number 6, and he's got great speed. So he has been on everybody's number 1 receiver. That's number 1. So he's getting the best of the best. So number 2, if we go back and we look at balls completed and or flags in the games that we've played, 99.9% of them, and the only reason I can't say 100% is because I might have missed one, but I bet I didn't, have been on their sideline. And so I think sometimes that's part, I think you've seen me go absolutely crazy at different times in the game because there's some times, I mean, you go back, we talked about the Dallas Cowboys, you go back to the Dallas Cowboys, a young man that played for A&M that was just an incredible corner, went through that year to where it looked like he could never get a break. Kevin Smith. And that's a little bit of what's going on right now, I feel like with Daryl. He's getting the number 1, you're getting the number 1 receiver that they're throwing to. So that's one thing. He's getting the most targeted receiver. And the other thing is, I mean, he's had some bad breaks. I mean, I go back and I talk to my guys all the time about I'd rather give up a flag than a touchdown. Anthony Blue is a perfect example of that in 2006. He always says I set the state record in the most pass interference calls. That's fine with me.
Anthony did okay when he got to Nebraska.
He did great, and that's just part of it. That's fine from the standpoint of those deals. I just don't want to give up a touchdown, and we'll take another snap. But some of that has been that we're very aggressive on those ends too, and I think you're going to see a group that really mixes it up tomorrow night.
We think Daryl, and it looks to us, as we said before, Daryl appears to us to be playing technically very, very sound and being in the spots that he needs to be in. And I think, your point about him always facing the number 1 receiver and holding his own. Again, we set the bar so high for some of our young players. And of course, that's what happens when you're the state champion, Coach.
No doubt.
And I'm sure they would rather, and you would rather have it that way than not have that pressure. Back to the Duncanville Panthers, defensively, as we said before, they've given up, 173 points through 6 games. So they're not a shutdown defense, at least not so far. When you pit those kind of numbers against the Longhorns' potent offense, you've got to feel like there's an opportunity there with the proper execution to have some success.
Well, they are really good whenever you look at them. To me, they're really good up front. They look physically really good up front, and I think that's something that we've got to do a great job as far as taking care of business in the offensive line versus the defensive line. They're active at linebacker. They got the young man, number 11, committed to OSU.
Yes.
That's going to play linebacker for OSU. What we've been able to do the last few years against Duncanville, I mean, even the year in 2011, whenever they beat us over there, whenever I didn't kick the field goal, I still kicked myself for that game right there.
We've forgiven you for that, Coach.
It was they have a hard time. They've had a hard time stopping the counter, and that's our number one play. And so hopefully that's a bad mix tomorrow night whenever you talk about us running the counter and them trying to stop it.
Tell me a little bit, and our fans a little bit about the preparation from a potential bad weather standpoint. The forecast for tomorrow night, at least in the early part of the week. That was an excerpt from the head coach Joey McGuire show. Thanks for listening in on our halftime show where we let Cedar Hill fans hear from head coach Joey McGuire. We had to cut it a little bit short as we're getting set for the second half of play here at Panther Stadium. The Longhorns leading 31-17. Longhorns back on the field. And as you can tell from the noise and the excitement, the Duncanville Panthers trailing by 14, also coming back onto the field. A first half that, well, guys, I don't really know. It was dominated by the Cedar Hill Longhorns, but, there were a couple of things that happened that allowed the Duncanville Panthers to get back into the football game, especially the drive near the end of the second half. And Cody, Cam, I'll let you guys talk a little bit about that before we get started.
Yeah, Cedar Hill was able to disguise their coverage a little bit better and made some adjustments against Michael Myers, kept him in the pocket and started to use a spy toward the end of the second half and play a little more zone as opposed to the man, which was allowing him to spring loose on some of the runs. And looked like they also may have mush rushed a couple times and just kind of not going all out on the pass rush to keep him in the pocket as he had a bit of a propensity to stick with his first read, and that allowed them to at least kind of slow down the drives as Duncanville had a lot of success when he initially was inserted into the game.
Yeah, and that was something that I pointed out early on when Myers came into the game, was that he was sticking with his number one read. He wasn't really working through his progressions. As he stayed in the game, me and you, Cam, noticed that he had open receivers, several dropbacks that he just never got through his progression to. He would lock on one receiver, and that would end up costing them yardage on a play, narrowing the margin.
Well, he obviously did a good enough job, guys, that and Cam and Cody, I think you both mentioned this during the first half after he checked in. He brought an energy to the Duncanville team, and Duncanville played with a little bit more swagger, and as a result, they're within 14 points as we are set to begin the second half of play. Carrasco set to kick off from his right to his left. Back deep for the Longhorns, Jalen Jackson and Denver Daniels as Carrasco approaches and hits a long end-over-end kick that's going to drive Jackson back through the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. Longhorns will take over, first down and 10. Justin McMillan, 7 out of 8 for 58 yards with a touchdown in the first half of play. DeMarcus Lodge threw a ball on the flea flicker, 1 for 1, 49 yards for a touchdown. On the running game side, Cedric Ware went 8 for 116. DeMarcus Lodge had a 67-yard touchdown run on a reverse. Denver Daniels 3 for 19. And Daniels also had 4 catches. Longhorns will start the second half moving from left to right. They lead 31-10 as we open up the third period of play. Backs on either side of McMillan. Direct snap to Justin. He hands it off inside to Daniels. Daniels cuts up to the 30, 35, 40, across the 40 and all the way down to the 41-yard line. A 16-yard gain right up the belly, Cam, to start the third period.
Yeah, and a very good job on the the delayed draw play, Denver Daniels, and very good lead blocking by Elijah Moore, as Daniel was able to really gash the Panther defense.
That's going to make it 1st and 10 from the 40 is where they mark it. Daniels with motion across. They hand it to Ware on the counter to the 40. He gets up to about the 44 over left tackle behind Randy Christian's fine block. Give him 3 on the play, make it 2nd down and 7. Longhorns leading 31-17. And got some things we definitely want to share with you as we get through the second half tonight. So when we go to a break in the action, stay with us. Want to tell you about the wonderful things that are happening with the Breast Cancer Awareness Month and how Cedar Hill Longhorn High School football has been affected by that. On 2nd and 7, McMillan with a 3-step drop throws the deep out, but the pass is high and outside to DeMarcus Lodge up near midfield. And the Longhorns, Cam, have a 3rd down and 7, and with the momentum of the game being what it was at the end of the first half of play, Cedar Hill needs to put together a drive here that at least takes some time off the clock. This is a big 3rd down play.
Yeah, the Horns can ill afford to come out without a high level of intensity here, because Duncanville really has an opportunity to make a run and possibly get a lead.
3rd down and 7. McMillan in the shotgun. Motion from left to right by Daniels. McMillan will throw it straight back in the pocket. Now he pulls it down. He's looking. He throws it deep downfield for Daniels, and it's incomplete and overthrown. Good pressure by on Justin McMillan. And Denver Daniels, McMillan comes all the way down the field to talk to Denver Daniels about running the route. I think he wanted Daniels to turn it up a little bit sooner. And not sure the best thing is for your quarterback to run down the field yelling at the receiver about his route. But Denver and Justin both very passionate. Nonetheless, it's 4th down, and Josh Stewart on for his first punt of the game. But before he can punt, there is a stoppage of play, and it's going to be a timeout for the Duncanville Panthers. And we'll keep it right here.
And I believe Duncanville there only had 10 players on the field.
I believe that's right, and they used a timeout as such. That'll give us a chance to talk to you a little bit about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Of course, everyone's very familiar with how important breast cancer awareness is in our community. The National Breast Cancer Awareness Month is an annual international health campaign, and it's organized by different charities every October to increase awareness of the disease and to raise funds for research into its cause, prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and cure. The campaign also offers information and support to those affected by breast cancer. And the Cedar Hill High School Longhorn football program has been affected by that disease, and as we go on through the evening, we're going to tell you just a little bit about that. But right now we're going to resume play. Josh Stewart stands at his own 30 in punt formation. It's a good snap and an excellent high driving kick that's going to land at the 15, bounce inside the 10, and be killed at the 8-yard line. That is a fine punt of 61 yards from Josh Stewart with no return.
And, Bill, we talk about it week after week about the weapon that Josh Stewart is. But this kid is potentially the best punter I've ever seen come through Cedar Hill. And that's not taking anything away from Eduardo Camara or any of the great kickers that have came through here. But Josh Stewart is truly a weapon on special teams.
Well, he showed it right there. He pins the Duncanville Panthers back at their own 8-yard line. 1st down and 10. Number 10, Stedman Lanigan is back in at quarterback. They run the pitch to the right side to number 10, the running back Roosevelt Richmond. He comes around left end, picks up 2 yards, going to make it 2nd down and 8. And Cam, how surprised are you that Stedman Lanigan is back in at quarterback for Michael Myers?
Yeah, I'm extremely surprised, as Lanigan was 3 of 8 passing. It's only a 37.5% completion percentage in the first half.
On 2nd and 9, direct snap to Lanigan, straight back in the pocket. He throws out in the flat, got a man wide open at the 10, up to the 15, and all the way to the 20-yard line. And it's going to be enough for a 1st down as the pass is complete to the running back, number 10, Roosevelt Richmond. and a first down for the Duncanville Panthers. And now it's time for the Cedar Hill defense to stand up and make a play and not let Duncanville gain any more momentum. Trip receivers to the left, one to the right. Lanigan in the shotgun. Richmond to his left, direct snap, but before they can, there's a flag down on the play, and it's a false start against Duncanville. They'll mark them back 5 yards. And the Longhorn defense, Cody, is really now got their work cut out for them to keep Duncanville from getting back into this game more than they are.
Yeah, they really do. Now you look up at the scoreboard in the game, Cedar Hill seemingly has dominated, and Duncanville's within 2 scores, trying to make it 1 if they can sustain a drive here.
On 1st and 15, Lanigan goes back in the pocket. He's throwing the deep out to the left side. It's intended for number 20, Eduardo Mora, but it's incomplete. Coverage out there for the Longhorns by number 19, Eric Sutton, and that's going to bring up 2nd down and 15. And Cam, like you, I'm very, very surprised that Michael Myers didn't get the start here in the second half. Lanigan, the quarterback in the shotgun, trips to the left, one to the right. Lanigan straight back, going to run it on the quarterback draw, cuts it to the outside. This one's coming back for a hold, I believe, as Lanigan is pulled down short of the 20-yard line.
And the thing that kind of surprises me the most about it is when you have a young quarterback like Myers, it really kind of hurts his development to have him on the sideline, because the way that he would learn how to read the defenses would be by having that live game action against those defenses.
From the 19-yard line, the Longhorns, a holding penalty is declined that was against Duncanville, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 11. So the Longhorns eschew the 10-yard penalty and will make it 3rd and 11, and now the Longhorns defense really needs a stop. Twin receivers right and left, ball on the left hash mark. Lanigan gets the direct snap straight back. He's thrown it out in the flat, got a man, but he overthrows him at the 20-yard line. On the flat route by the running back, number 10, Roosevelt Richmond. In coverage for the Longhorns was number 30, Devin Rader, but had that ball been on target, that could have been a shot at a first down for Duncanville.
Yeah, and Rader was on the receiver's heels. He still would have had an opportunity to turn up and possibly try to get the edge to gain the first down. It was about 7 or 8 yards short of the first down, so it would have took some yards after the catch to gain it.
Sam Jimenez stands on his own 5-yard line awaiting the snap. DeMarcus Lodge and Denver Daniels back in double formation. It's a kick that goes straight up in the air, and the Longhorns need to get away from the ball. The ball goes out of bounds up around the midfield stripe. We'll just have to wait to see where they mark that. And they're going to say it's out at the 47-yard line of Duncanville. So the Longhorns use Jimenez 31 yards with no return on the kick. And the Longhorns, Cam, going to have great field position to start their second drive. 1st down and 10, leading 31-17.
Yeah, very good job, again, there by the official of spotting the ball. It initially looked like he was going to spot it on the minus side of the 50, but he did get that spot correct. And Longhorns really with an opportunity to make some hay. Let's see if Cedar is going to get the ball, as he had over 100 yards in the first half on only 8 carries.
He's the running back behind McMillan in the shotgun on 1st down. They hand it off to Cedar 50, 45, 40. And he's taken down at the 39-yard line. He gains 9 yards, and to your point, Cam, right there, let's see if he's going to get the ball. This is a guy that could gain 200 yards tonight if he's given the rock. And Cedar Hill, I think, would behoove their chances at success to keep that Duncanville offense off the field by running the football.
Yeah, and Cedar had over 100 yards in the first quarter, so I'm really looking forward to see him have an opportunity to gain over 246 and possibly go over 1,000 for the season.
Jet sweep coming from right to left to Jackson. He turns the corner to the 35-30, 25-20, and he gets all the way down inside the 15-yard line, all the way to the 14. A 25-yard gain by Jalen Jackson on the jet sweep from the right to the left.
And great job lead blocking with Cedric Wayers. He got out in front, made 2 blocks on the outside to spring Jackson for that long run.
Jalen, trying to atone for a mental mistake at the end of the first half, went a long way toward doing it right there. From the 13-yard line, Longhorns got a first down and 10, moving from left to right. McMillan in the shotgun, 3-step drop, straight back, looking, throwing the ball deep corner of the end zone for Lodge, but it's out of the corner of the end zone. Good coverage out there for Duncanville's number 9, E.J. Prather, as he was running step for step with Superman, and the catch could not be made by DeMarcus Lodge, and that's going to make it second down and 10, and Longhorns trying to strike quick there. Be interesting to see, Cam, if they go back to their power running game here on second down.
Yeah, it would be kind of fun to watch the Longhorns just decide to line up and just pound with Cedric and Denver Daniels, as they've had a lot of success with those counter plays.
Where to the right. Longhorns going to take time out before they snap the ball. We'll keep it right here with 8:04 to go in the third quarter, and the Longhorns leading 31-17 and threatening to add points. And you know, Cam, your mention of it would be interesting to see the Longhorns play some smash mouth football with Ware and Daniels. You know, as the year goes on, and the Longhorns, assuming we make the playoffs the way we believe we will, don't you think that will be the menu for the playoff run this year? It'll be power football with Ware and Daniels.
Yeah, definitely, especially without having the plethora of dominant defensive players and pass rushers as we're accustomed to seeing. Even though we're having some guys kind of turn it up, you still want to keep the defense on the field as little as possible, because that puts more pressure on the opposing offense. So the best way to do that is by limiting their possessions with a dominant run game offensively.
Longhorns resume play, second down and 10 from the Duncanville 13. 8:04 to go in the third quarter, and the Longhorns lead 31-17. McMillan in the shotgun, Lodge and Daniels to the left, Harris to the right. Ware, the running back, to the right of McMillan. Motion across the formation. McMillan fumbles the snap. He picks it up. He rolls to his left. He's scrambling away. He throws in the end zone and throws a strike. Touchdown to Marcus Lodge.
That's 3.
Well, now he's caught one. He's run for one. And he's thrown one. He's halfway, or 3/4 of the way, I should say, to the cycle. But what a play by Justin McMillan. McMillan fumbled the shotgun snap from center, picked it up on the one-hop Derek Jeter style, rolled to his left, and while rolling to his left, threw back across his body into the end zone and threw a strike to DeMarcus Lodge, and Lodge scores his second touchdown. Brooks Ralph's extra point is true, and with 8:55 to go, I believe that's 8:55 in the third quarter, the Longhorns lead 38-17. Cedar Hill football on Champion Sports Radio. We'll be back in a moment.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores. 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Back at Panther Stadium in Duncanville, Texas, a 13-yard touchdown strike off a fumbled snap from quarterback Justin McMillan to wide receiver DeMarcus Lodge has given the Cedar Hill Longhorns a 38-17 lead here in the third quarter. 7 minutes and 55 seconds, we believe, is the time. Again, the clock here at Duncanville Stadium missing some light bulbs, so it's tough for us to tell. Brooks Ralph hits a pooch kick that Duncanville fields on the 25, and the return man for Duncanville is going to be taken down at about the 32-yard line. That's number 24, Cayman Dukes, on the return. A flag has come in at the end of the play. And we'll have to see, as there was some extracurricular activity going on that involved Darius Sockwell, number 6 for the Longhorns, and also Cedric Altwine, the senior outside linebacker. with a Duncanville player, so it's a personal foul against the Duncanville Panthers and Cedar Hill. Those penalties offset, and so the play will stand as it ended at the 32-yard line, where the return man, Cayman Dukes, was brought down. So it's 1st down and 10, and the quarterback for Duncanville, I can't quite see if it's Myers. No, again, it's not. It's straight back in the pocket goes the quarterback. He throws a stop route. It's complete up at the 40. The receiver gets away to the 45, 50, all the way down to the Cedar Hill 45. Goes number 83, Elijah Gates, the wide receiver, and it was quarterback Stedman Lanigan still in the game that threw that strike. So a big pickup for Duncanville against Cedar Hill's pass defense, and that's going to make it 1st and 10 Duncanville at the Longhorn 45. Bunch receivers trip to the right and one wide to the left. Direct snap to Lanigan, 3-step drop. He's throwing the ball on an inside route. The ball's complete up at the 36-yard line of Cedar Hill. And credit that catch to number 81, Kevin Bell Jr., and a 9-yard gain makes it 2nd and 1, and Duncanville quickly back to the line of scrimmage. Twins to the right and to the left. One back, Richmond in the backfield behind Lanigan. From the right hash mark at the Cedar Hill 36, Duncanville looking at a 2nd and 1, trailing 38-17. Lanigan in the shotgun. Direct snap, option to the right. They pitch it to the outside. It's going to be a loss back to the 42, but I think Cedar Hill may have been offsides, guys. Yeah. There's a flag down, and it might have been 98 for the Longhorns, who jumped off sides, Clifton Coffey. What, agreed?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. I was trying to give you signals, not over the air.
Cody Krim and I are silent signaling each other. It is a 5-yard walk-off against the Cedar Hill Longhorns, so that'll knock out what would have been a 6-yard loss can for the running back, Roosevelt Richmond. He gets taken off the hook. Cedar Hill, a 5-yard penalty that gives Duncanville a 1st down at the 31 of Cedar Hill.
And again, I'm not sure if maybe just the quarterbacks are alternating quarters, but we still haven't seen Michael Myers back out in the second half.
Twins to the right and the left. They run the toss play to Richmond. Coming left, he cuts it inside. Jitterbugs back to the right. Gets to the 25 and all the way down to the 23-yard line. He picks up 8 yards where it looked like he may lose 3 or 4. And the running back, Roosevelt Richmond III, showing some jitterbug moves there.
And a good tackle in the open field by Darrell Miller, as he was the last line of defense for the Horns.
6:15 to go in the third quarter. Longhorns lead 38-17, but Duncanville drives. 2nd and 2. Lanigan rolls out, throws the deep out on the left side. The ball's intended for number 83, Elijah Gates, but it's well overthrown. Gates was open at the 18. It would have been a 1st down, but Lanigan just flat missed him. That stops the clock with 6:07 to go, sets up a 3rd down and about 2 yards for a 1st down as Duncanville checks in with Bell at wide receiver. Richmond, the running back, in the shotgun behind Lanigan. Power formation now with an H-back on the right side on 3rd down and 2. Motion across the formation from right to left. Lanigan hands it off inside, and the running back, Richmond, is slammed down back at the 28 by Richard Moore. Oh, Moore sniffed that out and came with the load. He put Richmond on his back at the 28, a 4-yard loss, going to make it 4th down and 5. And here comes the field goal unit for the Duncanville Panthers.
And again, tremendous recognition by Richard Moore. I think maybe the strongest part of his game, as he noticed or diagnosed exactly what the play was, shot through the gap and made just a great ball carrier and blew the play completely up in the backfield.
Kevin Bell Jr. will do the holding. Carrasco will try the field goal from the 33-yard line. It'll be a 43-yard field goal attempt. Before they can get the snap off, it's delay of game against Duncanville. And now the Duncanville coaching staff is instructing Carrasco to punt the ball, I believe, that they're going to punt it instead of try the 48-yard field goal. No, I think that's what they were saying, but I think Carrasco has talked the coaching staff into letting him try the 48-yarder.
Oh, man, I wish we had somebody back.
So now a 48-yard field goal by Carrasco. The snap is good. The kick is faked. The running back is the ball's thrown wide open, touchdown. What a great fake field goal. Fake me out completely. Oh, my goodness. What a great fake field goal run by the Duncanville Panthers. And I'll have to reset it to tell you what happened because that was a phenomenal fake field goal.
I guarantee you they took that delay of game on purpose just to kind of lull the Cedar Hill special teams to sleep.
Well, it worked, and Michael Glaze and Joey McGuire having a trick playoff tonight with Jeff Dykes and the Duncanville staff. The extra point by Duncanville is up and good, and with 4:57 to go in the third quarter, Cedar Hill's lead 38-24 comes about as a result of a 48-yard fake field goal attempt. They snapped the ball from the 41, and Cody, walk us through that play. Tell us what happened.
Man, it seems as though we're going through this every possession with these trick plays, but basically what happened was that Duncanville set up in what appeared to be a 43-yard field goal, which, not taking anything away from Carrasco, but it just doesn't appear that he had the leg to make a 43-yard field goal for what we see tonight. And I was really scratching my head in a game. You're down 21, third quarter, a field goal doesn't really make sense. You knew Cedar Hill needed to watch for the fake. They take the delay of game penalty. The coach runs on the field. Rants and raves to the official about how upset he is.
Well, and he and Carrasco, another coach in Carrasco, debate whether or not they should punt or try the field goal. I mean, I don't know how good of football players and coaches these guys might end up being someday, but they're excellent thespians. Yeah. The Hollywood awaits. Go ahead, Cody.
And they ran it to number 33, Trevon Williams, came around, took the handoff, and threw a strike to number 34, Reginald Qualls, who was just wide open alone in the end zone.
Well, Cedar Hill's going to on the kick. The kick goes through the back of the end zone, and then the Longhorns really make a foolish mistake as they hit a Duncanville player late after the kick had gone out of the back of the end zone. So instead of taking the ball at the 25, the personal foul penalty is going to mark the ball all the way back to the 12.5-yard line where Cedar Hill will start a little bit in jail. And here we are, guys, with 4:55 to go in the third quarter, and we're back to a two-score game again.
Yeah, and really kind of an inauspicious start here in the third quarter. Cedar Hill did score a touchdown, but right now they seem to kind of be unraveling a little bit. One way to get things back in check, get the ball to your dynamite back in Cedric Ware and let him go ahead and lean and wear on the defense of Duncanville.
So the ball's marked at the 12-yard line. Longhorns will take over first down and 10, 4:55 to go. Longhorns leading 38-24, but it's a 14-point lead that right now feels a little perilous. They come in with the jumbo backfield. Elijah Moore will line up with Denver Daniels on either side of McMillan in the shotgun. The I-back behind McMillan, Cedric Ware. Direct snap to McMillan. They hand it off to Ware coming right. Ware's going to be taken down back at the 9-yard line, a 3-yard loss. And the momentum, the feel of the game right now is much like it felt near the end of the second quarter where Duncanville appeared as though they were about to get over the hump and really get back in and make this a football game. And it'll be interesting to see how Cedar Hill reacts now. McMillan in the shotgun. Cedric Ware, the running back behind him. Longhorns go twins to the left with Daniels and Lodge. One receiver to the right is Harris. In the shotgun on second down and 11, direct snap to McMillan. They hand it off inside to Ware coming left to the 15. He turns the corner to the 20 and gets up near the first down at the 22-yard line. It'll depend on where they mark it. Looks like he may be a half yard short.
And great job there by the Cedar Hill coaching staff. They didn't leave the run after it didn't work the first down. What happened was Duncanville crashed the box on first down. Then they went back to a cover 2 on second down, left the running lanes wide open for Ware.
Third down and less than a yard. Ware in the shotgun, McMillan in the shotgun, Ware behind him. Direct snap, inside handoff to Cedric Ware. He rolls over the 25 across the 30 and down to the 32-yard line. He'll pick up 9 yards on the carry, and that's a Cedar Hill first down as we go inside 3 minutes and 50 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and the Longhorns leading 38-14. 38-24, I should say. Ware, the running back, in the I formation behind McMillan in the shotgun. Direct snap to Justin. Two-step drop. Throws the out route. Got Bradley. He drops it up at the 38-yard line. He's run out of bounds there by number 5, DeAndre Jackson, but that's a ball Bradley usually catches, and he doesn't this time. It's going to make it 2nd and 10 from the 32. Stops the clock with 3:34 to go in the third.
And kind of a high throw there by McMillan. I think if you ask Bradley, he's going to want to have that back. Nonetheless, Cedar Hill, I would expect to continue pounding the ball with Ware and maybe throwing a little screen pass to Denver Daniels on the outside.
Daniels and Lodge go wide to the left. Harris wide to the right. Ware the setback behind McMillan. Duncanville shows blitz. Inside handoff to McMillan, or to Ware is fake. McMillan throws it outside to Daniels. He's going to be caught behind the line of scrimmage and drop back at the 31-yard line. That's a read option play for Justin McMillan. He can fake the ball, throw the ball out in the flat immediately, or keep the ball. And that time, Justin McMillan made the wrong read.
Yeah, it looks like he could have. The best option would have been to hand the ball off, as the defender basically spied the quarterback, and there was nowhere for the running back to go as the defense flowed toward him with the rollout going toward the receiver.
3rd down and 12 from the 30. McMillan in the shotgun, twin receivers either side. Motion across the formation is Harris. Straight back in the pocket goes McMillan. Great time. Now he runs out. He's running out, and he's going to be sacked back at the 25-yard line. He throws the ball forward, and it's incomplete. A very risky play right there by Justin McMillan. As he was going down to the ground, he just threw the ball wildly.
And that actually looks like it was very close to being intentional grounding, because I'm not sure it made it back to the line of scrimmage.
Or in the vicinity of a receiver.
Well, of course, if you're outside of the pocket and you can throw the ball across the line of scrimmage, it doesn't have to be near a receiver. But I'm like you guys, I'm not sure it got near the line of scrimmage. Right. Nonetheless, Josh Stewart stands at his own 17 to punt. Here comes the rush, and they run into Josh Stewart. They run flat into him. Stewart kicks the ball deep downfield and out of bounds. But this is going to be a penalty against the Duncanville Panthers, and it's going to be a personal foul, a 15-yard penalty. And I tell you the reason I think that's going to be a personal foul, Cam, is because the rush man never slowed down. He ran right through the punter, Josh Stewart.
And that's going to be the second personal foul that is going to cost the Duncanville Panthers from getting the ball back and potentially making it a one-possession game.
And Coach McGuire firing up his offense as he's walking away from the huddle now. But Coach McGuire was firing up his guys before they got back out. And you know he's telling them to make sure they shoot off the football, and you don't get this many chances. Go ahead and put the game away now.
Well, that's going to move the ball all the way up to the 45-yard line. The second huge personal foul penalty in this football game against the Duncanville Panthers. Oh, Jeff Dyke has got to be pulling his hair out. That's 1st down and 10 Longhorns from their own 46 as they escape disaster by a Duncanville penalty. On 1st down, they hand it off to Ware coming left. He turns the corner. Oh, what a great tackle by number 11. As he pulls Ware down after a 1-yard gain, and Ware had a lot of room. Actually, I said number 11. It was number 14, Jerron Bryant, that made the tackle, a shoestring tackle.
Saved a touchdown.
He did. Hold Ware to a 1-yard gain, and it could have been a 6-point play. On 2nd and 9, McMillan in the shotgun. Direct snap. They throw it to the outside to Harper. Harper turns the corner at the 50 up to the 45 and gets down the sideline. He's finally thrown out of bounds, and there's going to be another penalty as he was thrown out of bounds way after the player had crossed the out-of-bounds marker. Duncanville really doing some things that are a little inexplicable right now.
Yeah, and because he stopped him before he got a 1st down, but he pulled him down far after the play was over. He was almost past the white onto the players on the sideline, and he horse-collared him.
Yeah, there was a number of things that went wrong with that. So 30 yards on the last 2 of the last 3 plays for the Cedar Hill Longhorns. courtesy of mistakes by the Duncanville Panthers. The Longhorns will have a first down and 10 at the Duncanville 31, moving from left to right. Backs on either side of McMillan, inside handoff to Denver Daniels. Daniels bounces it outside to the left, turns the corner to the 30, 25, 20, and he's run out of bounds finally at the 19, make it the 18-yard line, a 13-yard gain on the bounce play by Denver Daniels to the left.
Yeah, and a good job again blocking, but we do have a flag on the play.
Yeah.
It looks like it was on Cedar Hill.
They're going to wipe that 13-yard gain out. It's on the far side of the field. The official calls holding against him. Boy, Joey McGuire is really giving it to the official on the far side over there that threw the flag. It was away from us. I couldn't tell if it was a hold or not a hold. DeSoto ends up running away from Mansfield tonight, 49-21. So the Eagles remain undefeated. 1:33 to go in the third here. Longhorns lead 38-24 and have a second down and 12 from their 34. McMillan straight back in the pocket. Great protection. They throw the out route. Bradley catches it at the 28. He's wide open, but the throw's low. He has to go down and get it. And instead of a good gain, it's going to only be about a 5-yard gain, as McMillan looked like he pulled the string on that and threw a little changeup out in the left flat to DeAndre Bradley. So from the 27 now, it's going to be second down. We'll call it about 7 to go. McMillan from the left hash mark has Ware to the right. McMillan's in the shotgun. Twin receivers, jet formation. They fake it. They hand it off, coming left to Ware. 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. And they're going to mark him out at the 1-yard line. The official trailing the play couldn't keep up with Ware's speed, so Ware is going to get on the play 21 yards all the way down to the 2-yard line, and that's going to be a first and goal for the Longhorns with 45 seconds to go in the third quarter. And boy, I tell you, Cedar Hill's offense has responded tonight, guys, when it's had to.
Yeah, and again, I mean, we can't say enough how good the blocking has been, not only on the interior and with the offensive line, but on the perimeter. These receivers have to be among the best in the state at blocking downfield.
First and goal from the 2. Direct snap, inside handoff to Ware. He gets down close to the goal line. They'll pull him down at the half-yard line. And again, it's that guy, Zacharias Green, number 11, the linebacker who is pledged, committed to Oklahoma State, one of the top recruited linebackers in the state, and we can see why. He's had a whale of a game tonight. Longhorns now with 12 seconds left and the clock runs. I believe they're going to let the clock run out here in the third quarter and move to the other end of the field where they'll have a second and goal from the 1. So at the end of 3 periods of play, Cedar Hill 38, Duncanville 24, Longhorns knocking on the door for another touchdown. Cedar Hill will return, Longhorn football, will return in just a moment on Champion Sports Radio.
Promotional event or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point. So visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
Back at Panther Stadium as we get set to begin the fourth quarter of play. You know, we talked about the as mascots are racing down the field right now against each other, Longhorns and Panthers, and it looked like a dead heat to me. Couldn't tell, but that's what the fans were going crazy about. It's pinked out tonight at Panther Stadium in Duncanville, and of course, as we talked about, that is for the Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And we told you that really affected the Cedar Hill Longhorn football team a few years ago. Head coach Joey McGuire's mom was diagnosed with breast cancer, and the treatment that she was able to get and the support that the Cedar Hill community and the Longhorn family and Longhorn Nation gave her, I know she believes went a long way toward her recovery. And we just want to tell you, Miss McGuire, congratulations. Today, your 5th anniversary of being cancer-free, and we love you, and we are so very thankful and proud that you got better and are back to your old self. So, Miss McGuire, congratulations. We love you. As we begin the 4th quarter of play, it's a first down and goal for the Longhorns from the 2-yard line. McMillan in the shotgun, 3-step drop, slant route. There, DeMarcus Lodge, touchdown, Cedar Hill Longhorns. So Lodge catches his 2nd touchdown pass of the game, and the Longhorns extend their lead to 44-24 on a 2-yard touchdown pass from Justin McMillan to DeMarcus Lodge. And Lodge, Cody, having a whale of a game. On for the extra point is Brooks Ralph. And Brooks knocks that through. Longhorns lead 45-24. Let's keep it right here. He scored so quickly after the beginning of the 4th quarter. I was amazed at just how quick we did that. I thought we would run the ball quickly, but it was from the 1-yard line. But instead, Michael Glaze said, no, if you're going to play man-to-man on the outside, we're going to throw it to DeMarcus for an easy pitch-and-catch touchdown.
The Longhorns drove down the field on the back of Ware and Daniels and Jackson, but predominantly just running the ball. And then they get down. They're in the 2-yard line, like you said. Duncanville's crashing the box, expecting a run. They leave man-to-man on the outside with DeMarcus Lodge. And with the chemistry that McMillan and Lodge have on that slant pass, it's kind of a timing route. As soon as he cuts in on that slant, the ball's there from McMillan. And that play is virtually indefensible in man-to-man coverage.
Well, it's a touchdown for the Longhorns. They lead now 45-24 with 11:58 to go. The first play of the 4th quarter results in a Longhorn touchdown, and quite a night for DeMarcus Lodge. He's been involved now in 4 separate touchdown plays. Brooks Ralph set to kick off for the Longhorns. He booms a kick that's going to come down at about the 5, fielded by Duncanville's return man up to the 10, to the 15, 20, and across to the 24-yard line. On the return goes number 22, DeMarion Handy, the senior running back. Give him 12 yards on the return, and it'll be first down and 10 for the Duncanville Panthers. 11:50 to go in the ball game. They'll start it from the 24-yard line, their own, moving left to right. And Stedman Lanigan remains in the 4th quarter as the quarterback for Duncanville. Richmond, the running back, to his left. Trip receivers to the left. Lanigan rolls out, looking, steps up. Oh, he's going to be sacked. Ball's loose. Ball's on the ground. And it appears Duncanville was fortunate to recover that back on the 16. An 8-yard loss as Lanigan went down underneath the grip of number 54, senior Quentin Jones.
And, Bill, after everything that we've seen in this game, I think the one thing we haven't seen thus far is a turnover. Duncanville almost committing one there, but now they're going to be backed up way back, and they're going to be looking at a 2nd and 18, I believe.
Trips to the right, one to the left. Lanigan goes straight back in the pocket, throws an out route on the right side up to the 22-yard line. The ball's called by number 19, Xavier Brown. That's going to get back the 6 yards that they lost. They're going to mark it up at the 24, and it's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Duncanville comes with Lanigan in the shotgun. He sends twin receivers to the short side of the field. But before we can run that play, the Longhorns are going to take a timeout, and we'll keep it right here because I want to follow up on what I was talking about when DeMarcus Lodge interrupted us with a 2-yard touchdown catch to start the 4th quarter. Of course, we were talking about Joey McGuire's mom and her 5-year anniversary of being cancer-free after being diagnosed with breast cancer and going through the treatment, and the Cedar Hill Longhorn family, Longhorn Nation, of course, just loves the McGuire family. Joey and his wife are wonderful individuals, not only to us in Cedar Hill, but throughout the Cedar Hill, Midlothian, DeSoto, Duncanville community. And, of course, that's has very much to do with great parenting that Joey received growing up. And Mr. and Mrs. McGuire, two of the finest people that I've had the pleasure of coming in contact with, just wonderful human beings. And I just want to say again how proud and happy we all are to be part of this 5th year to celebrate Ms. McGuire being cancer-free. As we resume play here, 3rd down and 10 for Duncanville. Lanigan brings them up to the line of scrimmage. Direct snap back in the pocket. Here comes the rush. He tries to scramble away. He's going to be sacked again back at the 12-yard line. Oh, the Longhorn defense. Oh, goodness gracious. Stedman Lanigan just getting pushed all over the place, and that's going to be a loss of another 13 yards.
And Bill, Cedar Hill coming out on defense there without number 15, Travis Gibson, the outstanding outside linebacker. We noticed at halftime him being on crutches. It appears to be an ankle injury, but we would hate to speculate on that. We will keep Longhorn Nation informed, but our prayers go out to Gibson.
On 4th down and 25, Jimenez hits a high end-over-end punt that DeMarcus Lodge runs toward. I'm not real sure what the plan is for our return men there.
I think we're going to have Denver Daniels back there from now on.
This time Lodge did the Jalen Jackson and ran all the way across the field in front of Jalen Jackson, and as the ball came down, DeMarcus covered up his head as if to say, please don't hit me, and the ball didn't. It bounced away and finally came to rest at the 32-yard line of Cedar Hill. So the Longhorns, with 9:52 to go and leading 45-24, can put a little icing on the cake now, Cam, with a good drive to wrap this one up.
Yeah, and I look for Aka Cedric to go ahead and play the role of Mariano Rivera and close this thing out.
Backs on either side of McMillan in the shotgun. Ware to the right, Elijah Moore to the left. Direct snap. They hand it off inside to Ware, and Ware stumbles and falls at the 20-yard line. Gets hit a little bit late after he actually went down, but not hard enough to draw a flag. Looked like he stumbled after he got the handoff to Aka Cedric Ware there and went down on his own.
Yeah, the old turf monster got a hold of him, caused him to fall about 3 or 4 yards short of the line of scrimmage.
2nd down, let's call it 13. McMillan in the shotgun from the 29-yard line sends twin receivers to the wide side of the field to the left, one receiver to the right to the short side. In the shotgun, direct snap to McMillan, 3-step drop, straight back, throwing a slant route across the middle. He's got Bradley, and he's on his way. 50, 45, and he's taken down at the 44-yard line.
That's a strong set of hands.
I am telling you what, give him 27 yards on the slant route, and there was a second there that I thought DeAndre Bradley II may be taking that to the house if he went straight up the field. But what a great catch under great coverage. Huge catch and run for DeAndre Bradley II, who's been playing a pretty good game at safety tonight as well. Twins to the right, one to the left. Inside handoff to Ware on 1st down. Cedric to the 40, Cedric to the 35. 1st down inside the 35. Give him 10 yards on the carry. And your premonition that Ware may be getting the bulk of the offense going forward, Cam, seems to be coming true.
Yeah, when you have, a dynamic playmaker like Ware, you just have to feed him, especially when you're going against a defense that struggles against what Cedar Hill does best, and that's run the counter play.
Twins left and right to either side. Ware to the left and McMillan. They run the jet sweep from right to left to Jalen Jackson. He tries to turn the left corner, but he's going to be taken down at the line of scrimmage. Great pursuit by Duncanville, and it was led by number 9, E.J. Prather. And we've called his name quite a few times tonight, Cody. Prather having a good football game.
Yeah, he really is. You know, he's been on man-to-man assignment a couple times against DeMarcus Lodge. Really done an admirable job there. He's been great defensive back there. They moved him up into the box almost as though he is playing outside linebacker, really doing a great job all over the field tonight.
2nd and 10 from the 45. Longhorns send Twins to the right, the far side of the field, and to the short side to the left. Direct snap to McMillan, 3-step drop, straight back in the pocket. He's looking. Now he's scrambling around. He's in trouble. Now he's just going to heave it deep for Superman, and it's knocked away in the end zone for DeMarcus Lodge. Great coverage down there by number 17, James Roberts. I believe that's right. Is that 17, Cody, on the coverage? His jersey's pulled up. Very difficult to see a number there, but he went up and made a great play against DeMarcus Lodge to knock a Hail Mary-type pass away in the end zone. That's going to bring up third down. We'll call it a full 10 yards. Lodge leaves the field after running off. Josh Stewart starts to come on, but now he comes off the field. Twin receivers to the right are Harper and Jackson. One receiver to the left is Harper, and the Longhorns are all discombobulated on offense. They take a timeout, and so will we. Cedar Hill 45, Duncanville 24, Longhorn football here in the fourth quarter at Panther Stadium. We'll be back in a moment.
On all the latest news about the teams you care about and know when your favorite games are on the air thanks to Champion Sports Radio social media. Either follow at Champion Sports on Twitter or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, and you will know what time your game starts, who was named Player of the Week, or what your school's alumni are doing in college. That's on Twitter at Champion Sports and facebook.com/Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship social media.
Texas. 7:31 to go in the game. Cedar Hill leading 45-24. Look at a third down and 10 from the Duncanville 35. From the left hash mark, twin receivers to the right, Lodge wide to the left. Ware, the running back behind McMillan on 3rd and 10 from the Duncanville 35. Direct snap to McMillan. Inside handoff to Cedric. Big hole 30, 25, 20. Runs over a Duncanville player, and it goes all the way down to the 15-yard line. A 20-yard run for Cedric Ware on 3rd down and 10. First down, Cedar Hill Longhorns. Let's give 28 a breather for a second. Let's get him out of there, Coach. No, they're leaving him in. Lodge comes wide to the left. Harper goes wide to the right. Where is the sole setback? Behind McMillan. Direct snap to McMillan. They hand it to Cedric. Coming left. He breaks a tackle at the 15. Breaks one at the 10. And he goes all the way down to the 5. But there's going to be a holding penalty at the 16-yard line against Cedar Hill. Don't know who they got there.
20 yards behind the play.
20 yards behind the play. Long after the play was, there's no way that could have had any impact on the play. But the official saw the penalty. He threw the flag, and it's going to wipe out another 9-yard gain for Ware and move the football back to the 25-yard line, make it first down and 20 for the Longhorns. Lodge and Harper come wide to the left. Elijah Moore is going to go H-back to the right, and he will be behind the tight end, Idumwanye, who is also strong to the right. They love to run the ball to the right out of this set. Direct snap to McMillan. They hand it off to Jalen Jackson. He's coming left. He turns the corner and is going to be run out of bounds at about the 24-yard line. Give him a 1-yard gain on the play. A lot of times, Cam, the Longhorns will go twin receivers to the left and go H-back tight end strong to the right and run the ball behind Idumwanye and Elijah Moore. And that time, Jackson took the ball up the middle. I thought he might bounce to the right, but instead he brought the ball to the left for minimal yardage. That's going to make it second down and 19 from the 26-yard line. Again, they're in the same formation, but wide to the right now are Lodge and Harris. Direct snap. McMillan straight back in the pocket. Sets up, throwing the deep corner out. He's got Lodge out there, and he can't bring it in. Ball was just a little bit long for Lodge and right by the sideline. Lodge worried about getting his feet down, wasn't able to come down with the catch. And more importantly than that, DeMarcus Lodge gets up and he's limping toward the Cedar Hill sideline, and we'll keep an eye on that for you as well. And that's going to make it third down and 25. And now Lodge is sitting down out of bounds back on the cinder track here at Panther Stadium, and we're going to keep an eye on that for our Longhorn listeners. Twins to the right on 3rd down and 20. Inside handoff to Jackson. Jackson's going to get across the 20 and down to the 18-yard line. It's going to be a pickup of about 7 yards, but leave them 13 short of the first down. And the Longhorns now have to decide whether or not they're going to kick a 36-yard field goal, or if they're going to go for the first down, and it looks like they're going to kick the field goal. The attempt will be from 36 yards in the left hash mark.
And it appears as though Lodge just has some cramps. Trainer on the sideline just massaging and stretching his leg out.
The 36-yard field goal from 41 Brooks Ralph is up, and it is no good. It's wide to the left as Brooks Ralph continues to be in a little un-Brooks Ralph-like slump right now. He hooked that one wide to the left, and I'm sure, we've been saying for a couple of weeks, Ken, that's a mechanical thing with Brooks, and once he gets it figured out, everything will be back to normal. And the Longhorns will need him during the district stretch and also during any playoff run.
Yeah, Brooks generally pretty much automatic anywhere inside of 35 yards. He's really struggled this season, and you hate to see that in a kid's senior season after he's been such a vital part of the Longhorn success.
A dominant
for the last 2 or 3 years.
Sure. On 1st down and 10, Lanigan goes straight back in the pocket. He's throwing it deep. Longhorns just tackle the receiver. I don't really understand that. The receiver, number 19, Xavier Brown, running a deep post, and the defensive back for Cedar Hill basically just grabbed him and held on.
Yeah, and the Cedar Hill defensive back would have had the better chance at actually catching the football. And again, this is just something that, hopefully the DBs are able to progress with and get better at and improve on throughout the season.
They will have to get better and improve on that 2 weeks from last night against the DeSoto Eagles. They will have to be better than they have been up to this point. And of course, we don't have any reason to think that they won't. This coaching staff and these players do a great job of preparation, but that's an area where improvement is available. On 1st and 10 from the 35, Lanigan hands it off. No, he fakes it. He's going to keep it around the left side on the quarterback keeper to the 45 and to the 47. A 12-yard run for Lanigan, who doesn't seem to have the quickness and the speed of his co-quarterback, his partner, Michael Myers.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Myers here in the second half, and I'm not seeing him on the sideline. So
another flag down on the field as we go inside. I'm not real sure. Again, we have a real problem seeing the clock here. We have an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Duncanville, so after the 12-yard gain, they're going to mark the ball back 15 yards. And again, we're having some difficulty seeing the clock, and my apologies for that. It could be 8:48 to go in the game. It could be 9:48. Just it's very difficult to tell because
it could be 4:48.
It could be 4:48. That's right. We just flat don't know right now. So after the penalty, they mark the ball all the way back to the Duncanville 32-yard line. It's going to make it 1st down and 13 after the penalty, and Lanigan stays in at quarterback. Twin receivers to the wide side of the field to the right, the near side, and to the short side of the field, the far side, to the left goes one receiver. Lanigan in the shotgun with Richmond to his right. Lanigan rolls near side, looking, throwing the deep out. Got a man wide open, and the ball's complete up at the 50, all the way down to the Cedar Hill 46 goes number 19, Xavier Brown, on the play. That's going to be a gain of 22 yards and a 1st down all the way to the Cedar Hill 49-yard line.
Bill, and I just want to inform our listeners, I'm kind of a little bit discouraged at the Longhorn defense right now. They still have all their starters in and not playing shell defense. Duncanville moving the ball with relatively good ease.
On first down and 10, Lanigan play action pass, rolls to his left, throws the ball down the middle, and a nice catch at the Cedar Hill 32-yard line. That catch by number 81, Kevin Bell Jr., and so Duncanville really making hay throwing the ball, and they've got the ball now all the way down to the Cedar Hill 32. Twin receivers to the right, one to the left. Richmond, the running back, behind Lanigan. Play action pass, straight back in the pocket goes Lanigan. He avoids the Richard Moore once, but he can't avoid him the second time. Moore runs him down back at the 37, his third sack of the game for Richard Moore.
And really nothing available downfield. Longhorns doing pretty good job in coverage. Was able to force Lanigan out of the pocket, scrambling to his left, wasn't able to get the ball out in time.
Guys, the weather has really turned here all of a sudden. The wind is really blowing from the west to the east. I mean, up to 25, 30 miles an hour. Fans are leaving the stands. We'll keep an eye on that for you. On second down, Lanigan rolls out to his right. He throws the deep out pattern. The ball is incomplete, intended out there for number 83, Elijah Gates. That ball is incomplete. And, boy, I mean to tell you, people down in the stands are really moving. They're heading for the exits as the wind is really picking up. We don't see any rain yet to this point.
Yeah, I think after last Thursday, everyone is a little bit cautious in trying to get out of the storm before it actually happens.
On third down and 13, Lanigan rolls to his right, throws the ball on the deep out, and it's complete on the right side up to the 21-yard line to number 19, Xavier Brown, and that's enough for a first down for Duncanville at the 21 as we go inside 3 minutes and 15 seconds left in the game. First down and 10, Duncanville. Lanigan in the shotgun, one back behind him, that's Richmond. He gets the inside handoff, big hold to the 15, to the 10, across the 10, and down to the 9-yard line. That's a 13-yard gain for Richmond as the clock stops at 3:01 left in the game while they move the chains. Longhorns going to win this one tonight. They lead 45-24 as we're inside 3 minutes, but Duncanville putting up a little bit of a fight here at the end. Twin receivers to the right, one to the left. Lanigan, three-step drop, throwing the fade on the right side, and the ball is incomplete. It was intended out there for number 19, Xavier Brown. But the Longhorns with good coverage. Number 21, Jaqueline Williams on the coverage.
Great effort by Brown to try to get his feet down as he was going out of bounds, but still able to haul in that catch just inches away from a touchdown.
Second and goal from the 9. Inside handoff is fake. Lanigan keeping it around the right side. Longhorns got him pinned in, but he gets away, reverses his field to the left, and he's headed toward the corner of the end zone, and he is going to be taken out of bounds at about the 2-yard line, it appears, just short of a touchdown, and they tackle him inbounds, so the clock's going to continue to run as we're inside 2:15, but it's going to be third down from about the 2.5, and the Longhorns going to run their record to 5-1 on the year. Duncanville will fall to 3-4. On third down from the 2, Lanigan with two backs in the backfield, but now a flag comes in as the officials confer over on the right hash mark, and the clock stops with 2:03 to go. Next Friday night, the Longhorns will travel to Grand Prairie, Texas to take on the Grand Prairie Gophers, a team that is struggling right now in 8-6A. And then 2 weeks from last night, of course, on ESPN, on national TV, we'll still have it for you on Champion Sports Radio. It will be the DeSoto Eagles and the Cedar Hill Longhorns from Eagle Stadium in DeSoto, Texas. Resuming play, it remains third down from the 2.5-yard line. The officials explaining their situation to both benches. No penalty on the play. Lanigan in the shotgun. Richmond, the running back, behind Lanigan, and now they've stopped play yet again, and it's a timeout for Duncanville with 1:58 to go in the game and trailing 45-24. I'm not real sure what would constitute the necessity for a timeout there, but I'm not the coach, so nobody knows their players like he does. Let's talk a little bit about what we saw here in the second half. Longhorns are able to outscore to this point Duncanville 14-7. They're going to win this football game. But I want to talk to you a little bit about the Longhorn defense, Cam, and how many yards they've given up tonight.
Yeah, the Horn defense has struggled a bit, and well, at least in the first half they did. In the second half, they really stepped the game up. Total yardage for Duncanville is currently at 331 yards with 24 first downs gained, but they're only averaging 1.73 yards per rush, 279 of the 331 yards coming through the air.
Absolutely, and the Cedar Hill pass defense has run into a good passing offense tonight. Resuming play with 1:58 to go. Lanigan in the shotgun, third down from the 2. Direct snap to Lanigan. He rolls out to the right side, throws the ball in the end zone, and the ball's batted away. Beautiful defensive play for Cedar Hill's number 27, Kaylon Jackson, the senior free safety. As the ball was intended for the Duncanville receiver in the right corner, it looked like it had a chance to be a touchdown, but Jackson,
good job playing the football.
Swatted the football away, playing the ball all the way and swatted away, and that brings up, with 1:54 and the clock stopped, the Duncanville Panthers have a fourth down from the 2-yard line. Direct snap to Lanigan on fourth down. He runs the option to the right, keeps it, and walks into the end zone for a touchdown. Option right, and Lanigan turns it up for the Panthers touchdown to make it 45-30. And coming on for the extra point will be number 30, Eric Carrasco, as a touchdown that is going to precede what we are sure to see here, and that's going to be an onside kick coming from the Duncanville Panthers with 1:51 to go and the Longhorns leading 45-30.
And Bill, looking at my radar on my phone, it really appears as though there is some weather moving in to the Duncanville area along with Cedar Hill area. As you noted with the wind, all that rain that we were hoping would stay off has stayed off long enough for us to get this one in.
Well, if it can stay off another 1:51 and enough for us to rip through some stats in a pregame show and let us get to the car, I'll be real happy.
Yeah.
Carrasco is on for the extra point attempt. This officiating crew doing everything they can to elongate this game.
They want to see the rain.
I guess. Number 81, Kevin Bell, to do the holding. The extra point attempt by Carrasco is good, and with 1:51 to go in the football game, Cedar Hill 45, Duncanville 31, and I don't know. I have mixed emotions about this game. The Longhorns did some wonderful things on offense. They were very entertaining in some aspects, but defense and special teams. There were some mistakes made tonight that the Longhorns will have an opportunity to get better in some areas.
Yeah, Cedar Hill obviously will improve. I mean, we've seen the Horns struggle all the way through nearly one of the last games of the season and miraculously come out with the victory over Midlothian and completely turn the season around, which led them to a state championship run.
Right.
So I think they're right on pace, undefeated in district play. And, Coach McGuire has some teaching points for his guys, and we'll look forward to having them prepared to come out against Grand Prairie and not look ahead into a big game on the horizon with DeSoto.
Carrasco set to kick off from his own 40. There's no doubt the onside kick's coming. Longhorns have their all-hands team up at the 50-yard line. One player back deep, everybody else within 10 yards of the kicker. Carrasco kicks it. There's the kick. It comes to the right side. Lodge picks it up. He fumbles it, and now there's a free ball on the ground. DeMarcus Lodge, instead of just picking up the ball and wanting to take off instead of just falling on the ball, Coach McGuire's meeting him right there.
And we got a flag.
Flag comes in now at the end. apparently going to be against Duncanville for an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. No, they were the only people on the field. It's a personal foul penalty, and it's against Duncanville. Longhorns, the onside kick from Carrasco came. It bounced up toward DeMarcus Lodge, and it looked like Lodge could have just fallen on the ball, but all of a sudden he decided he was going to try to run with it, and when he did, he fumbled it, and then it was Katie bar the door. Luckily, the Longhorns recovered the ball at their 36-yard line, and from there will be a 15-yard penalty where the Longhorns will move the ball inside Duncanville territory with 1:46 to go. Panthers have only one timeout, trailing by 2 touchdowns, so the Cedar Hill Longhorns are well in control here tonight, and the Longhorns going to put in their second team offensive line and also the backup running backs. Darius Harper moving in at quarterback now. Longhorns going to wrap this one up tonight 45-31, barring anything happening on these snaps. Inside handoff to the first back goes to the first back through for the Longhorns, and that's number 32, Elijah Moore. Checking in now for the Longhorns at running back number 24, Trevon Williams. Also into the game, number 88, Jair Jordan, the junior tight end. He's joined in there by number 34 for the Longhorns, Kettrick Hodge Finan. Second down and 12, Finan the H-back. Trevon Williams, the running back behind Darius Harper. Clock running at 1:05, play clock down to 5, and offsides against Duncanville will be coming to stop the clock with 1:03 to go, and the wind howling at Panther Stadium now.
And it looks like the rain's moving in also. You're starting to see all the umbrellas pop out and the rain jackets come on.
So with 1:02 to go, and now the clock runs again, play clock down to 20. Darius Harper in the shotgun, turns, hands off. Trevon Williams. Williams going to break a tackle at the 45 and get up to the 40. He fumbles the ball, but he was down at the 40 by contact as we're down to 44 seconds and the clock continues to run, and the Longhorns continue to shuffle players in and out, trying to get some players a little PT here on what's about to be a very rainy night in Duncanville. Number 29, Joshua O'Keefe, checks in at wide receiver. Josh Stewart at the other wide receiver position.
Yeah, that rain really starting to come down now.
Christian Simmons checking in at left tackle. The officiating crew won't make them snap it again, and we're done. Inside 10 seconds, and the Longhorns will have picked up their second 8-6A district win. They run their record to 4 wins and 1 defeat, and as the game ends, the skies open up. It's pouring down rain in Duncanville. The Cedar Hill Longhorns have defeated the Duncanville Panthers 45-31 here at Panther Stadium. As everyone is heading for the exits, the rain pouring down here. We'll be back to give you the wrap-up on tonight's game. You've been listening to Cedar Hill Longhorn Football on the Champion Sports Radio Network.
This broadcast is under the direction and is copywritten by Champion Sports Radio. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or use of the audio stream, and any and all other use of the accounts of this broadcast without the direct written consent and permission of Champion Sports Radio is strictly prohibited. All rights are reserved by Champion Sports Radio and ChampionSportsRadio.com. This is a presentation of Champion Sports Radio, your home for championship broadcasts.
Point of Origin Design is your one-stop shop for all your apparel, promotional, event, or team uniform needs. Point of Origin Design is a full-service design and logo creation company that offers a wide variety of imprintable and embroidered products. With competitive pricing and quality work, you can't go wrong with Point of Origin Design. It's always best to start at the right point, so visit them online at pointoforigindesign.com. Let them help you plan your next promotional item or design your next t-shirt. That's online at pointoforigindesign.com.
The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention estimates that nearly 4 million brain injuries occur every year due to sports in the U.S. They also estimate that 70% of concussions go unreported. Not identifying concussions early can be devastating, especially if the athlete continues to play with symptoms. Catching hard hits fast is critical, and that's why you need the Shock helmet impact sensor. The Shockbox is a small sensor that easily attaches to most football, lacrosse, and hockey helmets and instantly sends a signal to a smartphone on the sidelines when the player has taken a hard hit that puts them at higher risk for injury. The free app receives data from the sensor, displays information about the impact, and even walks the user through a concussion assessment. The app also logs symptom and impact data for future medical use. Visit shopboxdfw.com to learn more about the Shockbox Impact Alert Sensor and determine if it is the right option for your child. Be warned instantly when a player has experienced a head impact that could result in a concussion. Visit shopboxdfw.com today. shopboxdfw.com.
In Command Broadcasting, a sports TV broadcasting and marketing company. In Command Broadcasting provides a wide array of turnkey video production and streaming services. In Command services include filming of sporting events, season highlights, school graduations, corporate infomercials, and documentaries. In Command streams your sporting event or company function over the internet live or on demand. Call 972-851-7888 to raise the energy of your next event. In Command Broadcasting, 972-851-7888.
Writer Gerald Early said that when they study our civilization 2,000 years from now, there will only be three things that Americans will be known for: the Constitution, baseball, and jazz music. GDYO's Jazz Institute provides young musicians in North Texas the opportunity to learn what it means to be a jazz musician through weekly technique classes and combo rehearsals with professional jazz musicians. From the first note to the final round of applause, GDYO Jazz Institute concerts will amaze and delight both hardcore jazz cats and new fans alike. Learn more about the truly original American art form through the GDYO Jazz Institute online at gdyo.org/jazz.
There's a time and a place for everything.
As you'll see, projections for the next quarter are...
He shoots, he scores! 2 points for team middle management.
The office is not one of them.
Jack, can I see you in my office?
No pouting, it's your ball. Let's see what you got.
But Whirly Ball is. For corporate events, team building, and private parties, Whirly Ball in Hearst and Plano is electric fun. Test your skills on the arcade games. Zip around in your Whirly Bug for a Whirly Ball competition. Or play the most affordable laser tag in the city. Learn more at whirlyball.info.
Many heart conditions can be fixed, but many of us don't know we have a problem until it's too late. On April 2nd, 2009, Zachary Schroff, a 16-year-old sophomore offensive lineman, died of sudden cardiac arrest, the #1 cause of death among student athletes. Like so many SCA victims, Zach had no heart issues, nor did anyone in his family. If Zach had an echocardiogram, he might have been able to avoid suffering a condition that takes 10,000 of our youth each year. In his memory, Living for Zachary was formed to try and prevent SCA from taking the lives of youth everywhere. Join in the fight today and stop the silent killer of SCA by scheduling your young athlete for an echocardiogram, a procedure that can detect any heart issue with 99% accuracy. For more information, visit www.livingforzachary.org. That's living4zachary.org, and let your heart be heard.
Back at a rainy, wet Panthers Stadium in Duncanville, Texas, the Cedar Hill Longhorns defeat the Duncanville Panthers tonight by a score of 45-31. The Longhorns running their record to 4-1 on the year and 2-0 in district play. The Longhorns opened scoring tonight in the first quarter on a 37-yard touchdown run by Aka Cedric Ware. The Longhorns up 6-0 after the missed extra point. Went a little trickeration on the Duncanville Panthers when Elijah Moore received a 49-yard pass on a flea flicker play from DeMarcus Lodge, and all of a sudden, guys, DeMarcus was in the scoring. That was the way he did it, score number 1.
Yeah, and just a tremendous trick play, one of many that we saw on the evening by the Horns, and the Panthers even had a nice one. Lodge again coming out of the slot, received the pitch, and wide open was Elijah Moore as the defense, of course, completely flowed toward Lodge, and Moore had all day to wait on the football, did a great job of catching it, as sometimes those are the hardest balls to catch. Concentrated, caught the ball, and carried the defender in from the 5 and made sure that he was the one that got that touchdown.
That staked the Longhorns to a 13-0 lead, and lo and behold, we thought that we might be in for a laugher, but Not the case tonight. In the second period, Cedar Hill outscored Duncanville 18-17, and then in the second half, both teams had 14 points. So the 13-point outburst by the Longhorns in the first quarter proved to be really the difference in the football game as the Longhorns hang on to win 45-31. Total yards tonight, Cedar Hill with 492 yards. They racked up 21 first downs, 337 yards rushing. Every time they rushed the ball, they averaged 10.2 yards per carry. Quarterback Justin McMillan, 14 out of 22 for 155 yards. For a 63% completion percentage. Josh Stewart only had to punt the ball once, and in typical Josh Stewart fashion, he had a 49-yard punt with a net of 49, no return. The Longhorns lost 2 penalties and also suffered they lost 2 fumbles and also suffered 12 penalties for 107 yards. Defensively, the Longhorns struggled just a little bit. They gave up 333 yards, 31 points. They gave up 25 first downs. While they only gave up 54 yards rushing, 1.75 a carry, they did allow the quarterbacks for Duncanville to have their way through the air. Stedman, Lanigan, and Michael Myers combined to go 17 out of 35, right at 50%, for 279 yards. And that's something that we talked about earlier, Cam, that the Longhorn defense will have an opportunity to get better.
Yeah, they are going to have plenty of opportunities in 2 weeks when they are facing DeSoto on the road, and something that will need to be addressed and tightened up prior to that game, because if they don't actually do that, then DeSoto, who had 2 receivers over 100 yards with a couple touchdowns today against Mansfield, may have a game plan that is going to be centered around getting the ball to the receivers downfield.
Passing for the Panthers tonight, Stedman Lanigan was 9 out of 19 for 128 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Michael Myers, who we saw very little of tonight, played the majority of his snaps in the second quarter when, interestingly enough, Duncanville scored 17 of their 31 points in one quarter with Myers as the man under. He went 7 out of 14 for 120 yards, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. And as we talked about throughout the game, he was a quarterback that really brought energy to the offense for the Duncanville Panthers. Again, rushing wasn't the forte of the Duncanville Panthers tonight. They were led by number 10, Roosevelt Richmond III. He attempted 16 rushes, only gained 47 yards. Myers had 6 for 27. And again, he averaged 4.5 yards a carry, was really the offensive juggernaut, in my opinion, anytime he was in the game for Duncanville. Kevin Bell and Xavier Brown led the way receiving. Bell had 6 catches for 110 yards. Brown 5 for 71 and a touchdown. La'arius Allen 4 for 66 and 2 touchdowns. Over on the Longhorn side of things, they threw the ball 21 times, completing 14, 13 of 20 for McMillan for 106 yards. He threw 3 touchdowns and no interceptions. DeMarcus Lodge had his 1 pass attempt of the night, and of course, as only DeMarcus can, it was complete for 49 yards and a touchdown. Over on the offensive side of the ball, the Cedar Hill rushing game, Cedric Ware went 19 carries for 202 yards, Cam. He averages 10.6 yards a carry. Is there a better back? If there is in the state of Texas, I haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, Cedric mixes or joins a rare blend of power, speed, and vision that you generally don't see in one football player. He's a high school football player and really a guy that also adds a high level of work ethic, something that Joey McGuire says is really probably Cedric's number 1 asset is just his endless work ethic. One of the guys that he almost has to force to take a day off every now and then.
Well, tonight he rushed for a touchdown, threw for a touchdown, caught 2 touchdowns, had 4 catches for 32 yards. ran once for 67 yards, threw a touchdown pass, as we said earlier. An all-around great football night for DeMarcus Lodge. Denver Daniels chipped in 5 rushes for 38 yards. He also caught 5 balls, which led the Longhorns tonight for 32. All in all, a mix for the Cedar Hill Longhorns tonight. Some mistakes in the special teams arena, some yards given up in the passing game, Cody, but all in all, Longhorns come through with a 14-point win on the road against a team that came in tonight 3-0 at home.
Yeah, and Cedar Hill again looking impressive on offense as we thought they would. The defense continues to be a worry for me, and I know it has been for Cam since the first game of the season. I was thinking back then that I thought our secondary would get it together, but again they struggled tonight. Even late in the game, again they still had all their first teamers in there, not really playing a shell defense. And Duncanville able to move the ball downfield with ease in the passing game. But hopefully that'll be something that the Longhorn coaching staff and defensive coordinator Coach Limley will get fixed in the next couple weeks, as we have DeSoto in 2 weeks. But let's not look ahead. We do have Grand Prairie next week in a game that hopefully we will not have any of the weather issues. Hopefully the weather will clear out. And we'll be able to enjoy a good Texas high school football game.
Well, the Cedar Hill Longhorns get better every year under Joey McGuire and his coaching staff as the year goes on. As Cam and Cody mentioned earlier, it was just 2 years ago that they squeaked out a last-second win against Midlothian in the last game of the season, and we were all scared of what might happen in the playoffs, and lo and behold, the Longhorns went all the way to the state finals. And then a year ago, again, the Longhorns really built their momentum as the year went on, and by the end of the year, were ready to make a playoff run that would culminate in a state championship. So there's plenty of positives to look forward to with the Cedar Hill Longhorns. Again, they run their record to 4-1. They came in this week as the number 12 team in the state of Texas. Will probably move up a little bit this week, and they point their way toward the 6A Division II state playoffs. Our final score again tonight from Panther Stadium, your Cedar Hill Longhorns 45, the Duncanville Panthers 31. Join us next Friday night from Grand Prairie, Texas, when the Longhorns travel to the Gopher Bowl to take on the Grand Prairie Gophers. Pre-game at 7 p.m. Cedar Hill Longhorn football will kick off at 7:30. For my broadcast partners, Cam Bolin and Cody Krim, I'm Bill Howard, thanking all of our listeners for joining us tonight from Duncanville, Texas. One more time, our final score, your Cedar Hill Longhorns 45, the Duncanville Panthers 31. You've been listening to Cedar Hill Longhorn football on the Champion Sports Radio Network.